We welcome you back into the Asset Protection pregame show, protecting your assets before the opening kickoff. Joe Lidnowski alongside John Leidick here. It's time for our Coaches Corner segment, our pregame talks with each of the head coaches. Joe, we'll start with Mike Menold, entering his fourth year with the Greenville Trojans, and he talked just about what you did moments ago, making sure that that is not the starting point for the Trojans and not living off their laurels from last season. Here's Coach Menold.
We continue along on the Asset Protection pregame show here with more of the Coach's Corner. Pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Greenville Trojans and Mike Menold. Coach, congratulations on making it to the start of the season. Here we'll start here after the great run that you guys had to the state semifinals last year. What was the offseason like, and just the group maybe wanting to build to that next stage and make it to maybe a state final?
Yeah, well, thank you for having us. We're excited for the opportunity. I'm really proud of this group that, certainly it was great for the community and the team and the program to have the success that we had last year. But they set their sights and their goals towards this season right away. And we quickly realized that last year was last year, and we had to focus on us and what we were doing now.
As you went through the offseason, what was the biggest thing that stood out to you? You mentioned this group building to this season, but what was the biggest thing that stood out in your mind about maybe some strengths that this group will have?
Yeah, I think, we encourage our kids to play as many sports as possible. And from our program, the participation in winter and spring sports was fantastic because we want the kids to compete as much as they can. But when we turn the page end of May into football season, this is the most commitment we've ever had to the summer program, the weight room, the on-the-field activity. So just the work and the effort and, not resting on what they had accomplished the season prior.
1A was where you were for the last cycle. You jump up to 2A. How excited is your group for the challenge of heading up to 2 back to 2A, I believe?
Yeah, I think, that's one of the things that we talk about all the time. And, and we're really excited about playing a quality opponent like Mercyhurst Prep week 1. Challenges are great. We love challenges. So I think the kids embrace the fact that, we're moving up. And I know that some people's expectations for us have changed because of that. But the kids have embraced that. They like having a reason to kind of do their best to prove that they're worthy. And so they've embraced the challenge and they've worked really hard. And, between myself and all the coaches, we couldn't be more proud of how they've attacked this.
How great of an opportunity as a head coach and a staff is it to have so many of the guys that contributed a year ago back? And how does that maybe help the early development process in camp that you don't have to maybe start as much from the bottom?
Yeah, I mean, we have so many kids that have a lot of snaps, a lot of varsity football experience, and that does give you a leg up on the bases in, and maybe you can do some other things. And the danger of that coaching wise is that I always want the kids to be able to play fast and not think too much. But this group plays football. They love to play football, and to have that many kids with that much experience back is great. And honestly, we were talking about just how much I think so many kids with that experience, how much they've helped the freshmen who are now sophomores develop. It's been great to see them really come along.
It's no question. I'm sure you didn't have to dig too deep into the scouting report as far as knowing the challenge you face and Vinny Feliciano coming up in your opener. What has been the messaging to your group as you prepared this week about how pivotal that line play is going to be, and you certainly have a number of guys coming back along the trenches.
Yeah, I mean, all football coaches say this, but I mean, we truly believe that on both sides of the ball, it all starts up front. And then when you see he's a special running back, I mean, he runs hard. He clearly has great bursts and acceleration. So he's a handful. He's a very good football player, and they have, other very good football players as well, and big football players. But it's a challenge, but the guys are going to have to win in the trenches if we're going to have any chance of being successful.
What's it like for you to have a guy like Kale at quarterback?
Kale is in every sense of the word. He's an athlete, but he's a football player. He is the what a quarterback is on offense, he also does the same thing on defense. He's not just a good athlete, but he studies film. He knows where we need to be, and he's a playmaker. He makes things happen. So he's got all the qualities that you want in a senior quarterback, senior safety. The kids voted him as one of our 4 captains, and I mean, there's plenty of good reasons for that.
Awesome. Final one, Coach, I'll lead you on here is what does the opening week mean to you as a program? And what is the message to these kids knowing how few these opportunities are to play high school football?
Yeah, I mean, it's a start. It's a start to the season. And it's not, I mean, obviously we would like to hopefully win every game that we play, but that's just not reality. And somebody pointed out to me that we haven't won a home opener in since 2019. And here we are. The last 2 years we played Wilmington the first week of the season, and now we're playing Mercyhurst Prep the first week of the season. I think it's consistent with the messaging that we tell the kids all the time. It's about getting better every day. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. So, we're really excited about the opportunity to play a good team like Mercyhurst Prep because at the end of the day, win or lose, we're going to know the areas where we need to get better, where we need to improve if we're going to reach our long-term goals.
Awesome stuff. Mike Mennel, the head coach of the Greenville Trojans. Coach, wish you the best of luck and great health to your team in 2026.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate the opportunity.
All right. The Asset Protection pregame show continues along.
All right, and thanks to Coach Mennel for a couple of moments earlier this week to talk about his team. Now let's transition to the home squad tonight, Mercyhurst Prep Lakers, with Jeff Root leading the helm here tonight. His Lakers have the dynamic running back. How do they create a dynamic offense? Here's Coach Root on getting ready for 2026. As we continue along in the high school football game of the week pregame show here, we are joined in the coach's corner by the head coach of Mercyhurst Prep in Jeff Root. Jeff, first game of the season, what comes with that for your group and the big things that you want to emphasize?
Listen, a lot of excitement. It's a great matchup. I mean, Greenville went as far as the semifinals of the state, so they're ranked 10 right now in preseason in 2A, and we're ranked 10 preseason 1A. So it's just a great local matchup, 2 great programs, and we're excited for it.
As you went through camp, what was the biggest thing you learned about your program?
Well, I think the athleticism for everybody, even up front, our guys are big, but they're really fast. They move well, and we're really impressed with the way the kids are all moving, and that was a big part of it. We want to be fast, and we are, so we're excited about that.
As you go through this, obviously you mentioned the talent that comes with Greenville. They return a lot of their skilled talent. What's the biggest thing that you want to try and see from your group in a game like this, and how early is that first quarter?
Yeah, well, listen, we talked to the kids about tug of war, in terms of that first quarter is going to be tug of war, 2 good programs, and we just have to be resilient and stay with it, and hopefully at the end we pull a little harder than they do. But where we've really got to see some improvement and some where it's going to help us with that game is going to be guys up front, because they're really good up front, and so that's going to be challenge our guys. If we can control the line of scrimmage a little bit and get our backs in some space and be able to throw the ball, then we feel like we've got a good chance in that, and it's going to be a great game.
Big thing, obviously, we know, we'll talk in a moment about Vinny, but how do you get that passing game going? What's the biggest key there?
Well, it's been a focus all summer. I mean, Mike Crafty's worked with our quarterbacks and receivers, and it's been an emphasis all summer long, and so we're really pleased with where it's at. It's a point where we're really happy about it, and it's going to complement our run game, so we're excited to see how it goes this Friday.
You said you wanted to be a dynamic group. Yeah. To that point, though, when you have a guy like Vinny Feliciano, how much do you try to lean on a guy like that and let his athleticism take over?
Well, we know what we're going to get with Vinny. I mean, we played teams in the last 2 years, they put 10 in the box, and we still run the ball. So we know we're going to run the ball. We know who he is. We want to get the ball in our other playmakers' hands, and we've got to do that early and often. And that way, you're not defending just the run with Vinny. You're defending the run and 2 or 3 other kids that can carry the ball and a couple kids that can catch the ball. And with Everett throwing the way he's throwing, we're really pleased with that.
All right, final one for me. I know how special Friday nights are for you. You've been a part of this for a long time. What are you going to be taking in as you step on the field there, obviously knowing there's still a purpose when it comes to the game?
Yeah, I think, enjoy my strawberries, right? Just take a moment to look around and just appreciate the people that are there, the other team that's come down, and a Friday night football game in Pennsylvania is a great thing. So just try to take a minute and enjoy everything and the players and the excitement they bring, and just, enjoy it for myself for a minute before we get to work.
All right, the countdown to kickoff continues here on the pregame show. That was the head coach of the Mercyhurst Prep Lakers, Jeff Root. Thank Coach Root for his time. As we head here to the final break, we do want to extend our condolences and prayers to the Mercyhurst Prep family. Earlier this week, assistant coach Scott Hinterleiter passed away. And it's been a tough week and a tough offseason for the Lakers, also losing former assistant under Coach Root, Bob Hammer. So again, from the Erie News Now broadcast team, we want to send our prayers and condolences on the loss of those two individuals that had great impacts on this program and many young men through this region. We'll be right back here in a moment on the pregame show. Welcome back to Saxon Stadium. The site here tonight for the Greenville Trojans, Mercyhurst Prep Lakers. Joe Lidnuski alongside John Leidick here in the Asset Protection pregame show as the Lakers take the field here. Asset Protection, protecting your assets before the opening kickoff, and Erie News Now Plus is powered by the Plastic Group. All right, Joe, we're minutes away from kickoff here. We're going to have the national anthem and an opening ceremony. Keys to the game for you. We'll start first with the Greenville Trojans.
Well, I'm going to cheat. This is week one, right?
Okay, right.
And these are line of scrimmage penalties.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to be a good football game. The team that makes the least mistakes. I don't think either one of these teams is that much better than the other team that they can survive turnovers. They got to take care of the football. And I already talked about tackling. I mean, there are some legit college football players, college-type athletes out here. Tackling is going to be, yards after contact. Vinny Feliciano in particular is a home run hitter. You have to shore up the tackling. Week 1 to week 2, that's when you have the big step conversation. Week 1 is always about the little things. The legendary Joe Paterno said, you take care of the little things, the big things take care of themselves.
All right. On the Mercyhurst Prep side, I think we know what Vinny Feliciano can do. You got to contain if you're the defense for the Greenville Trojans. But I think the other interesting thing, you heard it from Jeff Root, we've got to be a dynamic offense and maybe turn to the quarterback position. Evan Cottrell wasn't asked to do a lot, but they said a lot of good work in the offseason.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Greenville's going to load the box and stop it. I don't think that's going to be it. But you talk about being dynamic. There has to be something to sell. Backside contain for these Greenville defensive ends. But again, that contain comes from imagination, right? RPO looks. What can Cottrell do with his eyes to get people, young players, to make mistakes? This is high school football. This is week 1. Everybody's thinking downhill, downhill, downhill. What can that quarterback do with the misdirection to get those eyes moving? And that's where the big plays come from.
It's interesting. Again, these two teams, Mercyhurst Mercer County up here in Erie County. This is only the second time these two clubs have met. The second all-time meeting, Mercyhurst Prep won 28-22 back in 2019. You've got an experienced head coach in Jeff Root entering his 12th season at 70-54 at Mercyhurst Prep. The Lakers, just to recap again, last season doesn't mean a whole lot tonight, but they lost in the District 10 2A championship game. Won Region 5 a year ago.
But remember, it's single A this year.
It's down to single A.
Big difference.
And they go into Region 2. So it looks like Mercyhurst Prep has won the toss. They'll defer. It will be Greenville receiving at the opposite end of the field here tonight as we're getting set momentarily for the pregame ceremonies. As we'll see, I think we're going to send it up to the national anthem and a pregame moment of silence. We'll send it up to top. All right, they are ready to go here. We are just moments away from the opening kickoff. John Leidick alongside Joe Lidnuski. The Laker faithful are ready to go here, Joe. Also want to remind you that will conclude our Asset Protection pregame show. Big thanks to Asset Protection, protecting your assets before the opening kickoff. We also want to thank our many sponsors here tonight: McMillen Towing, Ross Notary, Leon Construction, Orthopedic Associates of Meadville. You're watching the Erie News Now High School Game of the Week, and if watching on Erie News Now Plus, it is all powered by Plastic. How you feeling, partner, as we get ready for the opening kick of week number 1? Not week 0.
I have this love-hate with it, right? Because, here it's going to snow soon, right?
Yeah.
Time to put the golf clubs away, but I tell you what, there's nowhere I'd rather be on a Friday night, and let's get after it, JD. Looking forward to it, and we got one of the better games in the state of Pennsylvania to get going with here.
All right, we'll get set. It should be a good one across Pennsylvania tonight. Lorenzo Baker, usually the goalkeeper for the Mercyhurst Prep Lakers boys soccer team last season, a pretty good one at that. He'll be the kicker tonight as we get set to see how this one plays out. They have 3 guys back is that final opening huddle for Coach Root and his squad as they get ready for this one tonight.
And again, Jade, it's all about, can you control the little things, right? What does the mistakes feel like? How do you respond from them? I know a lot of these kids have been down this road before, but this is a much different animal. Some roles are expanding for some guys, but again, this is no better place on a Friday night in a beautiful setting here on the campus of Mercyhurst University.
Looks like Keith Covert, Justin Shell back to receive from Lorenzo Baker as we get set to tee this one off. And the start of the 2026 high school football season is underway. It looks like Covert is going to be back there. He'll take it right around his own 10-yard line, try to get up, makes one man miss, still moving there. He's out across the 30 and finally down right around that 38-yard line.
Ended up being a pretty good return, not necessarily one that you draw up from Greenville's perspective, but Mercyhurst Prep sort of broke down there some discipline and good patience by the return man to let something develop in front of him, because I'm not 100% certain that he didn't step on somebody's toes to field that kick to begin with.
All right, Joe, we talked about it in the Asset Protection pregame show. 4 of 5 offensive linemen back, and none better to have back than your starting quarterback, Cale Thurber, a year ago. Over 1,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. He also ran for 223. He'll get started at his own 38-yard line.
Covert and Shell will stretch you out.
All right, we'll get the pitch there as that one will get out. I believe that time Landon Porter gets the first carry as he gets up to the 46. That'll be a pickup of 8.
Good job by the right side of that offensive line, getting to the next level, securing some blocks. And again, you talk about first week pregame jitters. Best place to start is 2nd down and 2.
Yeah,
can't complain about that.
Short in the 2nd and 3rd down territory and get that first play for positive yards as we tick 2nd and 2 now. It's going to be a flip as following his blockers out across the 50. I believe, again, it was Porter, as he'll cross into Mercyhurst Prep territory down to the 47 of the Lakers.
Yeah, that's a great run by Porter, but how about the lead block by Kyle McGurr, who set that edge, pinned the outside backer inside on the numbers, allowed Porter to get to the outside. Now, nice job again at the line of scrimmage, putting a hat on a hat so far here in the opening possession. Anyway, JD, the white team is pushing the green team around a little bit. Jeff Root's not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, and a couple of toss plays you can see already. They're going to lean on the right side of the offensive line. As Porter motions to the backfield, why not? If it's not broke, don't fix it. As he moves down to around the 41, that's going to be a pickup that time of about 7.
Zach Brown, the left guard, just absolutely peeled the inside linebacker there, pulling as the lead blocker. And again, a chunk play on 1st down brings up 2nd down and short. Hat on a hat, and at every play in this drive, JD, has been that right side of the offensive line, and that time it was the left guard, Brown, number 51, leading the way.
Well, Joe, you have to be careful, though, too. After 3 run plays, you have Shell on the outside. He's a guy that can get down the field in a hurry, and it looks like Feliciano, the lone safety, to the top of your screen.
He's one-on-one with Mims on the near side.
And that's going to be another flip and a short gainer inside the 40, swung down to the 36, and that's going to be another fresh set of downs. So I believe that time was at 26 getting the ball carry. It was Hunter Emmerich.
I believe Quinn, who's wearing 0, the defensive end on that side of the field, is going to get credited with the stop.
That's a pickup of 5, and as we mentioned, a fresh set of downs. So the march continues for the Trojans into Laker territory now at the 36.
And they have done a phenomenal job through 2 minutes here moving the football.
And that's going to be another handoff to Emmerich, who's going to push his way, as is his pile, an offensive lineman. Always good when you can get the lineman pushing in a positive direction down to about the 32. That's going to be a pickup of 4 more.
Gaeta, the linebacker there, is able to fill and get the stop. But again, I'm sorry, but I was just a comm major. But 4+ per carry is going to make for a long evening for this Mercyhurst Prep run defense.
So we'll set things up 2nd and 6 from the 32. It's Porter in motion. The flip goes to him off the right side. He cuts it outside, still moving inside the 30, down to around the 25 before he's pushed out. We'll see where they mark him. Yeah, right at the 26. So that'll be another positive pickup there.
Big stick by Mims, the corner, but again, it's going to be a 1st down. I believe they signaled 1st down.
They needed 6. Certainly got the fresh set of downs down to the 26.
Give the chain gang a break here. First week, everybody's a little slow.
I'm also trying to do math. That's also a difficult task here as we go 1st and 10. This one at the 26-yard line of the Lakers, and the pitch to Porter again.
That time a much better job staying at home.
So just a pickup of 3.
Venaire, the middle backer, the Mike backer, number 57, did a much better job reading the key there, reading the guards. The guards will lead you to the football. And he stayed at home and picks up the stop. 2nd down and 7. So in terms of down and distance, this is the best spot that this Lakers defense has been in, and still yet to put it in the air.
And they've gone with this tight formation. Shell, the lone wide receiver, split out, and they fake the handoff on the end around here as getting that one and brought down quickly. But there's a flag also on the play with the carry was Kyle McGurr.
McGurr on the end around. Jet sweep, whatever you want to talk or call it logistically here, with the wing tee. The play will
down to the 23.
Probably
so looks like we're
going
to
hold.
Yeah, we're going to march it back. It would have been a 3-yard gain, but we're going to march that one back.
I think Mercyhurst perhaps made some nice adjustments here in the last couple of plays in terms of gap responsibility and being in the right spot. I think they were getting too far upfield. And now really the first true test for this Trojan offense. They face 2nd down and 17 from the Lakers' 33-yard line.
So now we'll see if Cale Thurber won.
And this is where you got a veteran quarterback in Thurber. Do you change the snap count? Can you get a free 5 to make this 2nd down and 12?
Yeah, so we'll see how things go here. Try and see if we can air it out, but we go for the traditional wing tee. And there it is, the counter handoff. It's Porter powering his way down right around the 26, so he gets back most of that penalty yardage on the run there.
Rupp, the defensive end, stays with the play. 3rd down and 10 now, a little bit more manageable. Give them 7, but they've had a lot of success running between the tackles, JD.
That they have. They've gotten the push. And again, when you bring back an experienced offensive line, 4 of the 5 starters back from that state semifinal team a year ago, that's what you can do, especially off the right side of where Porter's found success unofficially, 37 yards on 6 carries. Thurber will go under center again. Wing T, we'll see what they do here. Porter in motion. They fake it to him, and they're going to go for a pass, and they got it. As this one going to the end zone, Justin Shell, no flag. He's pushed out short of the goal line.
Yeah, there is a flag. I think it might be defensive holding, but there's also one in the backfield. So Shell with the catch. Mims, I think, is going to be called for illegal contact. Was it going to be a hold or pass interference? Couldn't tell if the ball was in the air when the flag came out or not. But there's also a flag in the backfield,
Could
JD.
be a false start there with sometimes with that motion trying to time things up with the wing tee. We'll see if they're offsetting. Paul Pilotowski, the official, the referee here tonight.
So roughing the passer. The flag in the backfield was roughing. Our eyes went downfield. So the illegal contact, I didn't even see if that was a hold or not, but I think that's what the call was. That penalty was declined, and it'll be 1st down and goal
at
from the 2.
So that was a pickup of 24 on the first pass of the night.
You know, you run. Safeties start coming downhill. Linebackers play downhill. And you leave yourself 1-on-1, and now it's 1st and goal. 7:40 to go here in the opening quarter.
We'll see where that handoff goes if they go. It's Porter in motion again. He gets the flip there and powers his way in for the opening touchdown. The Trojans take the early lead, 6-0.
Yeah, again, just the push up front. Schuver, the big right tackle, at 6'4", 330 pounds. Not a bad guy to follow into the end zone. Ryan Hollowell, the center, as well, got a good push. And really, this has been a pretty impressive opening drive. Greenville essentially getting everything they want. They had the one holding penalty. Other than that, it was positive.
And it looks like they're going to go for the 2-point. Do they got the kicker set up there? They do.
Yes, they do.
All right, that's going to be lining up for the kick. Will be Cale Thurber doing the place-kicking duties here. We'll see if he can knock it through after leading that opening charge. Movement there by the Lakers. So now a decision time.
Yeah, I think now you got to go for 2. Absolutely. Here they come. We talk about it in the pregame show. You cannot, in what feels like is going to be a back and forth ball game, that penalty wasn't 5 yards. That penalty could be 1 point.
Yeah. So 2 penalties now on the Lakers. First one was declined. And this will be a yard, half the distance to the goal, and we'll see if they go back to that power run game that we saw for all but one play on that opening drive for the Trojans.
Ryan Holloway, the center. Keep an eye on him. Number 72.
Thurber with Porter. We also have Emmerich back there. And they're just going to go with the quarterback sneaks.
Right.
Thurber is in.
Right in the back pocket of Holloway. We're not reinventing the wheel here, JD. This is just hat on a hat. Give the Trojans credit. That was a really impressive opening drive.
A beautiful drive in this opening quarter. It's 8-0 Greenville over Mercyhurst Prep. Back in a moment on the high school football game of the week. All right, welcome back to the first quarter as the Lakers just had it, and it looks like they got pretty good return. Vinny Feliciano was the man picking it up from his own 2 and taking it out. So the Lakers, Joe, will look to match after a 10-play drive from the Trojans.
Yeah, sometimes the mishandling or the shorter kick, because I think Greenville actually had a pretty good return coverage on that, but the lane discipline broke down because nobody fielded it, and Feliciano had to return and come back to find it, and everything sort of broke down as they were in the right spots, just not able to make the stop.
This is first quarter coverage brought to you by McMillen Towing, Stuck in the road. They'll be there fast. Erie's most trusted towing and roadside assistance. As we'll get things started out of the shotgun, 2 backs, 1 to either side, and the man in motion. It's Everett Cottrell, the quarterback for the Lakers here. And where else to start? Look at Vinny Feliciano go, and that is what he can do, folks. The speed to just break through the line. He doesn't need much.
Yeah, and I don't know if Thurber saved a touchdown, but he might have, because Vinny was about to get a head of steam there, and Thurber got his hand. And I think Mercyhurst Prep was looking for a horse collar. The official said it was the jersey, but all the way out to the 45-yard line. Feliciano was getting sped up. Thurber, I do believe,
out in the action. Cottrell again from the shotgun. Back to either side. And the man in motion, they fake. They give the handoff that time. It's going to go to the far side. And that's Elman Sparks getting the big run, but a flag comes in there late.
McGurr and company did a nice job stringing that out laterally. But the flag, this is a big penalty here in the opening drive for Mercyhurst. Porter with the stop, but McGurr's the one that bounced him out an extra lane that allowed the pursuit to get there.
So it looks like he got down from the 45 down to the 33. Would be a pickup of 12 initially, but we'll see the penalty.
Oh, personal foul, face mask.
So add on 15. So a 12-yard run that time by Sparks. And then add on 15 more. So that'll be a costly penalty, the second of which for the Trojans of Greenville.
And this is a big penalty here. I mean, they're already goal to go.
Joe, last year in one of our games of the week, it was Meadville McDowell, and it was a shootout. I think over 100 points scored. We're already well on our way.
Well, I mean, we've not even.
we haven't hit the
5:06 we played.
All right, the ball marked down to about the 18-yard line. Man in motion is Sparks. But the handoff goes to Feliciano right up the middle. He's down to the 10, down at around the 7-yard line.
That motion really ran the middle of the field wide open, and then they run the counter behind it with Feliciano. That is a wonderfully designed and perfectly timed play. The linebacker jumped about 2 gaps to his right, and next thing you know, 5's right through it, and now it's goal to go. I looked at the wrong marker. It was
3 runs so far to start for Jeff Root and company and Mercyhurst Prep. You have Cottrell with Ciano's going to have to try and just get back to the line of scrimmage. Does a good job to at least get about maybe a yard or 2 out of that to pick up the first down. Now it'll be goal to go.
We talked about backside contain. McGurr again with a big spot. The senior linebacker able to stand outside and make that run come back inside and get the stop. So a good effort there by McGurr again on the edge.
As we await here. Looks like they're going to mark the ball down at the 8. So a pickup of 1 there for Feliciano. Already 3 carries for 28 yards unofficially.
Well, most importantly, though, that's goal to go. That's a new set of downs.
Right. At least 3, if not 4 tries as they go dual running backs out. Man in motion is Elman Sparks. He motions to the left side. And a low snap there. The handoff to Feliciano. He shoots the right side, and what a tackle there that time. Is, I think, coming up, Cale Thurber and his head coach, Mike Meadville, talked about how good he is, not only at quarterback, but the safety position.
Yeah, Thurber that time read it again. They ran some pre-snap motion. They got the formation to jump to their right, and Thurber saw the action filled, and that's a TFL. That looks like the 9-yard line is the – so give Thurber – not only did he save a touchdown, and in a game like this, what feels like it could be points and inches, that's a big stop.
Already 4 carries for Feliciano. You have 2 running backs to either side to Cottrell. He's got 3 wide receivers split out.
Movement.
And there was movement, another penalty, it looks like, on the Trojans. We'll await the call from Paul Pilotowski.
Well, I don't know. Thurber's pointing at
offsides.
Oh, I think Thurber jumped into the neutral zone and got a reaction from Elman Sparks. I think that's why Thurber was trying to sell that, he drew him, but the linesman there was nobody between
him and the quarterback.
Yeah, so that was a pretty easy call by the linesman.
You mentioned about it. Not going to be the cleanest game that these coaches. Plenty will be a review. Already the 3rd accepted penalty against the Trojans. 27 penalty yards. Again, everything we do here unofficially as we are communication majors trying to do math.
And you never said anything about math. I said yes, I'd broadcast, but you didn't tell me there's any math.
All right, so that's going to move the ball down to the 4. 2nd and goal from the 4. Cottrell out of the shotgun formation, and Feliciano takes the handoff, but he's met quickly. Can he bounce it to the outside and find his way in? He gets back to about the line of scrimmage, but again, it's Thurber coming in to make the tackle and limit the yardage towards the end zone.
Yeah, the interesting conversation. This is going to be a fun one to watch. Elman Sparks is flexing. He picked up a big block. Thurber points, he didn't find the end zone yet. Great pursuit again by the Greenville secondary. Now, we've seen this is perfect. You're getting a bunch of free shots at Feliciano, but he can't kill you. He can't go position.
So we'll see how they go. They go Cottrell with the lone back, Feliciano behind him, see if they can spread it out. Motion man there that time is A.J. Horton. And now they get a blocker, and Feliciano with plenty of space, and nobody's going to catch him. He bounces it in for the 5-yard touchdown on 3rd and goal, and we are just a couple of points away from having an even ball game. We do have a Trojan player injured there.
How about the block by Ty Mims, the wide receiver, to allow Feliciano to find the end zone? But who is down for the Trojans?
We're on the opposite side of the field here, so we'll try to get you the number there. While down, we're going to take a break here. Back in a moment, we'll try to get you that extra point upcoming. You're watching the Erie News Now Game of the Week. As we welcome you back to Saxon Stadium on the campus of Mercyhurst University, the extra point by Lorenzo Baker blocked. So it is an 8-6 ball game with the Trojans' early lead. 2 offensive possessions, Joe, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and 2 teams that sort of got whatever they wanted, and I think they're going to get it how they wanted it in different ways. And this is the one problem when you've got a home run hitter like Vinny Feliciano, is that if it comes down to a ground and pound clock management game, I think from what we just saw there with the line of scrimmage play, Greenville can shorten this football game in a hurry. Mercyhurst is more of a big play, and if this is a track meet, I think it goes Mercyhurst Prep's way. But if this is all about time of possession, hanging on to the football and winning this thing 4.5 yards at a time, pretty good opening drive for the Greenville Trojans.
If you're just joining us, the Trojans went right down the field in about 4 minutes, 10 seconds, 62 yards, a 2-yard run by Landon Porter, and then Vinny Feliciano answering there on 3rd and goal, a 5-yard touchdown run, 63 yards and about 3:27 for the Lakers to match the score there, but they did not match on the extra point attempt or a true point try, so it's 8-6 Trojans through 1 possession for each team. Lorenzo Baker, looks like he's getting some work there on the sideline, so Mercyhurst Prep may have to, we'll see if they have to go with somebody else kicking the ball, as Baker has not made his way onto the field after that blocked extra point. He's running on the sideline. I can see him here, and we'll see. This could be a delay of game.
Yeah. Timeout. I think you'd certainly take the penalty here.
They were looking for
I
the
think
tee.
they're looking for the tee.
Oh, okay.
Jeez, where'd the dog put it?
So Lorenzo Baker will get ready to cue it up. Keith Covert, Justin Shell among the many back there. I think Hunter Cox as well is cued back there for Coach Mike Menold as we get set for the kickoff.
Hang on, hold your bingo card.
Something getting reset here.
Chin strap.
Chin strap. So they're going to have to send Baker off here.
Yep, chin strap. 100% what it was. Didn't have the chin strap buckled, or maybe the mouthpiece. Something hanging. It was an equipment. The linesman said, nope, you're out of there.
There we go. Run on the 11th player here for Mercyhurst Prep is that time getting excited maybe about kicking was Max Kinsler as he gets set to kick this one off. The emergency kicker, Joe, in just the 3rd possession of the game here.
Yeah. It's a point of emphasis, mouthpiece and chin strap, and something was hanging. Couldn't tell what it was.
As that one goes, it'll be taken by Covert down around his own 5-yard line. He gets out already across and cuts it. He's up to the 35, across the 40, near midfield before he's finally dragged down. We'll see where the final mark was, but again, a couple of great returns by these teams to open up on special teams.
Yeah, short kicks. Or kicks that aren't fielded necessarily where kick coverage is meant to do it. Obviously, Feliciano's return, he picked it up off the rug. Timing was thrown off. Mercyhurst Prep had to have a backup kicker in there because of an equipment issue. Shorter kick, and Covert's the beneficiary of it.
So we'll see where they start.
46-yard line
of Mercyhurst.
Yeah, so a very good return.
Or no, let's see here.
And it looks like
I got a shadow here.
Jumping back.
Yeah, Jack, on the 46 of Greenville. So Greenville will start on its own 46-yard line, 3:52 to go here in the opening quarter, brought to you by Leon Construction, the king of quality.
Covert split out here to the near sideline, one-on-one with Mims on the field.
We've got the wing tee with Porter in motion. The flip goes to him. He'll try the right side again. He's up across the 50, room to run, down inside the 40, and he takes with him the defensive back. As that one going to go down there for a big gain. We'll see where the final marker is, but that's going to be one of those explosive plays that every coach likes to see there, Joe.
If you want to run the football, you better have wide receivers that are willing to block, and that time Covert did a great job with Mims. And when you want the tackles to come from behind, that's when you know you've had a big play on the ground. And again, it has been an excellent job, a clinic here in the opening 2 possessions by this Greenville team in terms of putting a hat on a hat.
That was Porter for 18. He has 57 on 8 rushes unofficially. As the handoff, a little reverse trickery there, not much doing. That'll get back to the line of scrimmage there that time. As the man getting the football there was Kyle McGurr.
That time Mims and Gata did a great job staying at home, the misdirection, keeping eyes in the backfield. Really a much better job that time, holding it to just a 1-yard gain, but it's all about discipline. The wing tee is all about misdirection at the point of attack. You get in the wrong gap, that's how you get chunked. And really, that's been the difference in the positive plays versus the negative plays.
So they give one there that time to McGurr. The pitch toss goes to Porter this time as he's going to work his way down to about the 26 on that carry.
Ryan Rembold, the 6'3", 260-pounder, out in front, leading the way. I mean, I love to watch wing tee football. I know it's not popular, but it's a really, really fun, nasty, kind of filthy, and just if you watch these guys up front, JD, they just get a hat and just drive you to the deck.
You got Covert split out. Porter, the man in motion, and the flip goes to him. He has gone right to the right side every time as he works his way down into about the 22 for a pickup of 4. That'll be a fresh set of downs on 3rd down.
The time it was behind Rembold again. The senior. There's a couple of good-looking prospects on this line, and already kind of hands on the hips a little bit from this defensive line and linebacking core for the Lakers.
Porter's 10th carry of the game. He's nearing 70 yards already here in just the first quarter of play. We talked about the great back on the other side in Feliciano. Porter, the man in motion. They fake it, and they're going to try and roll out. Pressure, though, on Cale Thurber. We'll see if we can keep him as he falls to the ground, Joe.
Yeah, that
or
time.
Did he get the throw away?
I think they're going to say he got the throw away, but really a nice job that time as they went play action initially, but it was A.J. Horton, the linebacker, that stayed at home, and that pretty immediately changed the plans of that play. So big play by Thornton brings up 2nd down now here.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, and the first 2nd and long that really the Trojans have faced in their first 2 possessions. It's been very manageable for them so far. They try to go with the pass game, nothing working there on just the 2nd pass attempt for Thurber in this one. Now Porter fakes it, and they're going to go to Emmerich there, right up the middle, down to about the 10-yard line.
I could feel that collision. These pulling guards just hit so hard. And really the kick out that allows the pull into the gap that just blows the play wide open. Really, really impressive offensive line play here in the opening quarter.
And we want to mention this is the New Motors Subaru Red Zone. Make your trip and every touchdown every time with New Motors. As this one, the run there that time, not going for much.
The time Venair, the middle linebacker at 6'2", 230 pounds, certainly looks the part. That time he filled the hole. They will have to run at least one more play here in the quarter.
Was that Porter on the carry there, Joe?
I believe so.
Okay.
It was, yes.
So that gets him to 70 yards unofficially here as it'll be 2nd and 8 as we tick towards the end of the first quarter, presented by Leon Construction. And the pitch to Porter. He's going to try the right side. He's able to get there. We'll see if he gets a late flag there, 2 flags, as he got down to about the 3-yard line. That would be a pickup of about 6. But we'll await the penalties here as the clock stops.
There's 2 flags. That doesn't mean they're the same penalty, so they were just moved. Holding is what the Lakers are suggesting. So that'll take it out to the 13-yard line. Or it looks like they're marking it from the 5 out to the 15-yard line.
Let's see. Yep. That's going to go out to the 15 because they say he got down to around the 5. So that's another penalty on the Trojans. Their 4th accepted penalty. They've got 4 penalties for 37 yards unofficially here.
They will not have to run a play if they don't want to. But it looks like they're ready. 2nd down at 15 now. Goal to go.
Now we'll see how it goes with Cale Thurber with the motion man. Porter, as Thurber falls to the ground. Porter tries to get motion, but a good job by Mercyhurst.
Ball's out.
As the ball is out, who recovered?
Feliciano came in there. A nice job standing him up. Then I believe it was Gaeta that stood him up. Feliciano finished it off. The ball came out, but I think McGurr recovered it.
So there, Porter that time. This should take us to the end of the first quarter. So, after a quarter of play, it's Greenville 8, Mercyhurst Prep 6. You are watching the Erie News Now High School Football Game of the Week. Back in just a moment. We welcome you back to the high school football game of the week, presented across and powered by on ENN Plus by the Plastic Group. The second quarter brought to you by McMillen Towing. Stuck on the road, we'll be there fast. Erie's most trusted towing and roadside assistance as we get set. It will be 3rd and goal to go, but from the 15. So no gain there for Porter on that last run. He's up to 12 attempts so far in this one. Again, everything we're doing here unofficially until the last marker, so don't hold us in the court of law.
Be interesting here. I'm always curious the mindset here on 3rd down and 15. I think you probably run it on 3rd down because that's what you do. And if you're going to throw it, I think you throw it on 4th down. Try to get what you can get here on 1st down, shorten it up. But they are going twins to the far side of the formation.
Yeah, Shell's the lone man to the right. He had that double move earlier for the big pass play. It's Thurber. He's going to roll that side, try to come back across his left, throw it deep to the end zone. Covert's back there, and that one almost picked off, falls incomplete. So decision time for Mike Menold and company. They're at the 15.
JT Jones got enough of a contact, totally legal, that really took away any opportunity to make that play. That's a tough ball for Thurber to make that throw. I kind of like if you're going to do that, I'd like to get him more on the move to his right versus throwing back against his body. Or I want to put twins to the boundary and go one-on-one to the field if you're going to let him throw it against his body. Just too many bodies when you go 2-by-1 that way.
Well, that's what I was interested in. I thought Shell would be the lone guy you'd put to the left with all the space to move because, like we said, that double move.
Look, what are we doing now? Now they are going to go 1 to the field, 2 to the boundary.
Yeah, Shell and Covert, the guys to the boundary here as Thurber on 4th and goal. But he's going to roll to the left. They're going to go opposite. It's caught and a spin move. Is he in? Touchdown.
Yes, he is.
How about that?
JT Jones made the play on the prior play. Now there's a late flag. We will see. I believe
that's probably going to be on the celebration.
A dead ball.
Yeah. So that was Tavine Williams. How about that one? The senior, 5'7", 150. They load up the two big returners and Shell and Covert to the boundary side, and they go not so fast there.
One-on-one, gave him a little okey-doke. The spin move, got the pad level north and south. And let's see. I believe that will be on the celebration. I think you're correct.
Yeah, it looks like they're lining up to go for 2 down there. Unless we got a late hit on Thurber.
I didn't see a hit, unless there was an unsportsmanlike conduct on the Lakers well after. But I thought the flag sort of came out before there was any other Lakers there.
Unsportsmanlike on Greenville.
Okay, I thought that was the case.
So I think they're going to take that on the kickoff. So that's a completion of 15, Thurber to Williams.
4th down at 15, not just 4th and goal from the 15. Not all 4th down conversions are equal. That one was head and shoulders above most. Big time play.
So Shell will be the holder.
Tavine Williams, what a move!
And there we got movement again.
Oh my goodness!
That's the second time, and
Jeff Root is going to be furious. They're giving away points. I don't. There's no way they're not going for 2 after the penalty.
They did it the first time, and they'll do it again. As just trying to keep up here.
I mean, the penalties, JD, have would make this a 2-score game, assuming they score.
Well, and both accepted penalties on Mercyhurst Prep have been on the extra point attempt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just watch for Porter. He's lined up on the far side of the formation.
He's the man in motion now, and they go once again. Thurber just keeping it and powering his way in, and he has it for the 2-point conversion. That is another touchdown for the Trojans. They go up 14-6. We'll be back here in just a moment. You're watching the Erie News Now Game of the Week. We welcome you back to Saxon Stadium, where the score is 14-6. Greenville, let me try that again. 16-6. I do math, I promise.
Yeah.
As the score with 2-point conversions both times for Greenville.
Make Penn Hills proud there.
Yeah, I'll do my best. But again, 4th and goal from the 15. It's Thurber to Williams there for the latest touchdown here. We'll see what Coach Root and company have for an answer. They went right down the field with the run game on their first possession.
I mean, I don't have a doubt in my mind that Mercyhurst has an answer on this side of the ball. I'm more concerned with the penalties and the other side of the ball. And, obviously the excessive celebration penalty, I believe, is what was assessed here. But the 2 offside penalties are really the story of the ball game. And it's a 2-score game. I know the math is hard, but it's still 10. And you can't score 10 on one try, JD. So really, you got to look at Mercyhurst. They were having trouble getting out of their own way on the special teams here in the early going.
Hunter Cox will cue it up as he sends this one down. And this one will be taken, I believe, by Feliciano as he runs it. As that time, check me on that one, J.T. Jones, the man with the ball. As, again, with the shorter kicks, Joe, gets you a good starting position.
Yeah, this has been, depending on your thoughts on field position and special teams play, this has been a disaster.
Certainly film that will be reviewed tomorrow morning.
Equally bad both sides have had some issues on special teams. But on the scoreboard anyway, for now, the Mercyhurst Prep penalties have seemed to matter more.
Just a reminder, don't go anywhere. Halftime show brought to you by New Motors, Subaru, and Volkswagen. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboards and much more, but plenty of real estate to get to as this ball starts at the 47. And we'll see with Evan Cottrell set out of the shotgun. Feliciano the back. They'll flip it to him, and he'll try the right side with plenty of space. He's across the 50 and swung down to around the 47 on the opposite side there. So that time, a good pickup of 6.
Kel Thurber just had a terrible reality check. He had Feliciano wrapped up, and he planted a foot, and he came up empty. I mean, the shiftiness of Feliciano is...
Feliciano, okay. Grabbing at the foot, usually a sign of a cramp.
Well,
but
this is week 1.
Certainly don't want to see that.
How about that? Help a fella out. Look at that.
Justin Schell. And that is sportsmanship.
He deserves more than an attaboy for that one. Thorber, he had him, and he just came up empty. And Feliciano just is so twitchy. He gets you lost in a phone booth. He just planted that right foot, jumped back inside, and Thorber just totally whiffed.
That's why he's a Division I recruit, headed to Western Michigan next year. He said that was the first school. He had a number of interests across the Division I level, but the one that as soon as he stepped there, he knew that he was appreciated by that coaching staff out there with the Broncos, and he made his commitment there. So we'll see in the day. It's not official, Joe, until you sign that letter of intent.
Well, it's one of those things where, he is one of those kids that he does have it.
Yeah.
And, it being the track speed, right? And you look back to guys like Journey Brown and Ethan Knox. What do they all have in common? They're track guys, right? I mean,
he won states.
Yeah, and it's dudes that can fly. And, I look at him, and I like the way he runs. I like his pad level. I like, hence the shiftiness. I like what he brings to the table. What's he need, about 1,000?
And change.
Well, what's 79, I think, to start.
Yeah.
I don't know how your math. Well, I don't know if I trust you in your math now, but you know what I mean.
Sorry.
Anyway,
37 is what I had him on. So
what's 79 minus 37? Quick. So, but he's gonna have a
42.
Thank you.
Our math skills sponsored by Hooked on Phonics.
Your calculator was out there. No, but he is the guy. He is the kind of guy that could have a Journey Brown type night at Du Bois that all of a sudden different eyeballs are on. Yeah. So nothing against Western Michigan, but
yeah. Hey, they're always dangerous to pit every once in a while.
But I'm just simply saying that he has got some attributes on the football field that not a lot have.
So he walks off under his own power. Took a little bit extra, as maybe those early cramps do. Not a overly oppressive night here, but it was still a little bit warm to start things off. Not the most extreme heat we've seen in the 80s. It was in the 70s for most of today, thanks to the First Warning Weather Team at Erie News Now for that. Start things off. It'll be 2nd and 4 from the Greenville 47. Cottrell out of the shotgun formation. And the handoff that time not going anywhere, as spun down that time is A.J. Horton.
A.J. Horton on the carry, but how about J.J. Rowan, the sophomore, the offensive lineman? This has been a lot of fun. If you like physical offensive line play, putting a hat on a hat and throwing guys to their backside, this has been the game for you. 3rd down and 5 now, flirting with the midfield stripe.
At the 48 of Greenville here. Again, the second quarter brought to you by McMillen Towing. Stuck on the road, we'll be there fast. Erie's most trusted towing and roadside assistance. One of our many great sponsors bringing you this broadcast wherever you're watching or listening on Happy 927. Cottrell out of the shotgun as he fakes the handoff, play action, quick rollout pass there that time, and I'm going to fall incomplete. So 4th and 5 from around midfield. We'll see what Jeff Root and company come up with decision here. That was the first passing attempt of Cottrell in 2026.
Low snap out of the pistol, and that really put the timing of that quick hitter behind the 8 ball for Root and company. And it looks like they're going to punt this thing away.
Yeah, Lorenzo Baker also serving as the punter. Again, big key piece of the Lakers boys soccer program. Now making sure they don't have 12 men on the field here.
Do you trust them here?
But do we have a timeout?
I don't trust them.
Now, Mike Mennel wants to talk it over with his group, so he calls a timeout. We'll take one as well.
No, actually, that was Lake Mercyhurst took the timeout.
All right, thank you, Joe. We'll be back here in just a moment. You're watching the high school football game of the week. Welcome back to Saxon Stadium as we get set here. Lorenzo Baker on 4th and 5 set to send it away. We got Shell and Covert back to receive on the punt. Baker gets this one off. It'll be Shell coming up to take this one. He'll let it bounce instead, and that'll be touched right and down right around the 17-yard line of Greenville.
I don't know if that was the design sort of pooch squib, but neither Shell nor Covert wanted any piece of that, and Tyler Quinn, the big fella, showing some wheels to get down there and kick coverage.
So the Trojans will have their third possession of the ball game that will get underway at the 16 with 10:18 to go, and they've been 2 for 2 so far tonight.
You know, this could be one of those drives, JD, that goes a really long way in deciding the outcome. And if Greenville can just sort of hunker down here, put an 8-minute drive together, get another touchdown on the board, going into the locker room, really different hill to climb off for the Lakers here.
Now it's crucial, too, because Mercyhurst Prep has the pitch here, and a good hole going through there that time, as that was McGurr. That's going to get this out to about the 26.
Brandon Straw, the tight end, with a great job on the mic there, just pushing him out of there. McGurr follows the lead block. Again, this has been just textbook up front. They're going to give him 9, but more importantly, tick, 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 9:50 till halftime.
Yeah, I was saying there, Mercyhurst Prep will receive the second half kickoff, so you can get points here. At least gives you a couple of score margin. As the handoff this time to Emmerich as he goes forward, and he picks up the fresh set of downs as he gets out right around the 31-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 5. They'll give him to the 30.
Venari with the stop, but again, not before. New set of downs. Clock continues to roll, 9:32.
This has been, the opening drive was 10 plays after they got the score. And they use the run game quite a bit here. It's landed a 3-horse attack in the wing tee, and this time the fake as Thurber throws it up looking for Shell, but that one going to be good coverage that time by Mercyhurst Prep.
Yeah, time him step for step, and I think they were trying to look for Shell. And I think that's one of those reads where Thurber sees if he's got a step, he pushes it down the sideline. If he sees he's hip-pocketed, he throws it out of bounds, and Thurber there not forcing that into the coverage makes a good decision to see second down.
So it'll be a 2nd and 10 from the Greenville 30. If you're just joining us here, the opening 3 possessions, all touchdowns. 2 from Greenville, 1 from Mercyhurst Prep. Vinny Feliciano, the lone touchdown, a 5-yarder for the Lakers. As Thurber under center, motion man Porter gets it, tries to cut it inside here, but not much doing. He'll get out to about the 34 for a pickup of 3. That'll bring up 3rd and long.
I think Veneri's starting to figure this out a little bit. He's starting to figure out that those guards are going to lead him right to the football, and instead of him playing downhill from that Mike position, he sort of just stands there for a second, reads the guards, and that time he's really did a nice job jumping in the alley there to make the stop. 3rd down and 7. This is a big play in this football game. JD, we talked about what this drive could do, but 3rd down and 7 is a lot for a team that likes to run the football. There just aren't too many 7-yard runs that you just have in the playbook.
One thing I want to note, the deep safety is not Feliciano, who left with that cramp. He has not returned since. Thurber with the handoff here, and great pressure as that time trying to still move the pile there is Emmerich, but he's not going to get much, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And who's the last guy on the bottom of the pile? Veneri again, the middle linebacker. Like I said, I think he's starting to figure out how to read this, and he has been absolutely spectacular in the series, and this will bring on a Greenville punt. But the big question, you just teased it, Vinny Feliciano, will he be in at tailback? Well, yes, because he's going to return the punt. So
okay.
I think we just answered our question.
Asked and answered.
Answered is right, partner.
All right. Hey, you talk about Veneri so far here tonight. Could be a Plastic Player of the Game, as it'll be part of the Plastic post-game show. We'll also have a Play of the Game as well.
You know, if the Lakers go on to win this football game, this drive, I mean, literally this drive, because Greenville had all the momentum, and all of a sudden Nick Veneri kind of figured it out and was a menace. And now Feliciano and company set to return.
Elman Sparks also back there as well for the Lakers as Shell will get set to punt it away for the first time tonight. Low snap, gets it, and boots it a high end-over-end punt. This is one of those you just let, and bounce it all the way back. And that's going to be very favorable starting position.
Devine Williams is going to down it, but where are they going to mark it down?
Clock is still running, 7:16.
They're going to have to stop the clock, put some time on it. That's going to be a net of about 11. The clock is still running, but they're going to have to put time back on it. Does anybody realize it but us, Jay?
No,
they don't.
So we'll say this drive is going to start. We thought we had a stop there. So we'll start this on a moving clock from the 44-yard line of Greenville.
I mean, they just let 30 seconds of the game clock just disappear on the change of possession. 44-yard line.
It's week one for everybody.
Yeah, I guess.
Evan Cottrell will be the man out of the shotgun formation as he takes over this drive in the pistol. Motion man there, they fake it, and the handoff goes to none other than Feliciano, who breaks through a tackle, and goodbye, good night. 44-yard touchdown and in. Feliciano's second of the night.
They gave Greenville a little taste of their own medicine with that counter, and the left side of the offensive line opened it. Great block on the edge. I think that was Horton, and that guy knows what to do with it. Now the question is it one or is it two? Because they're going to be chasing points.
Feliciano still doesn't look 100% as he makes his way to the sideline there. You just saw.
Well, his 100%.
We're going to have a timeout from Jeff Root, his second of the half.
His 100% is a little bit better than most, though.
That it is. We'll take a timeout as well here. Never mind. We will keep it here as at Saxon Stadium. All right, Joe. You talked about it in our pregame show as we got the Ashley and Kuzma replay. You get the celebration there. There's Feliciano. Yeah, a little slow, a little gimpy there. You got to work it out.
Is it a cramp? I don't know.
We'll
Obviously,
see.
I can't do math, so I certainly don't, medically evaluate via. But, here we go. 16-12 now. Decision. What's going on the Mercyhurst sideline? Are we debating going for two here? They're going to have to chase points at some point.
Yeah. Want to mention, you just saw there the instant replay, a sponsor all year long, and a big thanks to Ashley and Kuzma Physical Therapy, the sponsor of replay. I know many of you that watched last year asked about it, and you shall receive, as we'll have replay for you this season thanks to Ashley and Kuzma. And that was also part, we want to make sure that that was never got in there, but the Red Zone sponsor, the New Motors Subaru, has been busy here tonight with 3 Red Zone trips. That was not one of them, a 44-yard run for Vinny Feliciano. So they will go for 2 here, Joe, but it is not Feliciano in the backfield. That'll be Elman Sparks as well as A.J. Horton. Set things out. Low snap here as Cottrell couldn't get it away, and the low snap cost them.
Boy.
Coming in there.
Special teams have been dreadful on both sides, and I find it hard to believe whether it's just in the points or it's going to be in the outcome, but special teams will certainly play a factor in the rest of this one.
So 16-12 the score with 6:19 to go in this one. And again, it was one play, a 44-yard Feliciano touchdown. But, Joe, it has been a good one here.
It's wild, though, Jetty. Neither team, neither offense has had any issue executing with the football. No. Both teams have been a disaster on special teams. That's crazy. Like I think all the penalties.
Yes, 2 penalties so far on Mercyhurst
Prep on special teams
led to the 2-point conversions for Greenville, and then Mercyhurst Prep tries to go for 2 there. So boy, the special teams of the Lakers will be a high point of emphasis.
It's not like Greenville's been spectacular in special teams either. They've had some kicking issues, but it has been a very, very bizarre game for teams to get seemingly whatever they want on offense, but special teams to be such an issue for both sides of the football.
So it'll be Tavine Williams back with Shell and Covert to receive the Lorenzo Baker kick. A 4-point game so far in this one. Thanks for watching the high school game of the week here. As this one, a short kick that'll be taken right around the 16 by Covert. He's going to cut it back to the middle of the field before met by a host of tacklers by the Lakers as he tries to spin his way out to the 30. We'll see where the final marker, but again, not a bad field position to start things off here, Joe. We'll see. Again, you talked about key possessions. Greenville's got to answer now because Mercyhurst Prep receives the second half kickoff.
Well, I want to see what they do differently here in this chess match because Veneri's kind of figured things out. You have to be able to adjust on the fly. So what will come from the Greenville sideline, because that line of scrimmage advantage that they had seemingly getting whatever they want, well, that went away in that last possession.
So it starts at the 31 on this possession. Started on the 16 last time.
Is there not enough guys out? There's a lot of commotion for Mercyhurst.
Thurber with the motion man Porter. He takes it and is going to try the right side, but wow, what a great job here. A host of tacklers in there that time. to come up and make the tackle.
It's Veneri again. He takes on the block, drives the block into the backfield. The runner has to bounce it out 2 more lanes, and then there for the easy tackle is Elman Sparks. But again, it's all number 57 in the middle of that Mercyhurst Prep defense, JD, seemingly now getting whatever he wants. That time he just shot the gap, got up into the backfield, and the runner had to bounce it outside, nowhere to go.
Fantastic defense, and you'd like to see the adjustments from quarter 1 to 2, and Jeff Root's defense has done that, led by Veneri. So it'll be a 2nd and 13 after the 3-yard loss. Thurber under center. We'll see if they try to maybe go counter here as they go to the left side for the first time in a while. McGurr, though, not much there as a quick tackle by the Lakers.
Yeah, that time a nice job by J.T. Jones, the senior defensive back, just kind of getting flowing horizontally with the football. And now all of a sudden the Greenville offensive line seems to be a bit perplexed.
Yes, we want to mention, too, as we'll pop the Sports Obsession QR code here, we want to know where you're watching. Scan the QR code and be entered to win. And tell us where you're watching tonight as the Sports Obsession. You could be entered to win a gift card. We will contact you if
Am
you
I allowed
are tonight's
to do that
lucky
or no?
winner. No.
I never win anything. Ever.
It's Cale Thurber.
Last
Low snap. This might be one as he tries to make something out of a broken play, throws it downfield. He has a guy underneath. Did Hunter Cox make the catch?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Hunter Cox, you could see it, JD, from our angle. Broken play. Hunter Cox, the veteran guy, the senior, put his left hand up and just pointed to the sideline, sprinted there. Thurber just kind of threw it up for grabs. But what do you tell Mercyhurst Prep to do? The ball's loose. You can't tell them to back off. But as they're in pursuit, everybody's playing downhill. Scramble drill breaks out, and Thurber makes a big-time play with his arms and legs.
It's 32 yards on the completion there that time. So there's been some long passing plays of 22, 15, and 32 tonight for Thurber. So Thurber will set up for the Mercyhurst 34 as the delayed handoff goes to Porter. He goes up the middle. He's down to the 25, finally stopped around the 24. That'll be a pickup that time of about, we'll give him to the 26 for 8.
A little bit of misdirection. Change the responsibility for Veneri, and all of a sudden you get 8 on the ground. So I like the checkmate and the counter checkmate here as Greenville's made a couple of adjustments. Now, obviously, the legs and the athleticism of Thurber saved the day, but 2nd down and 2 now from the 26-yard line.
So we'll see how things go here as hand up right up the middle to Emmerich inside the 20 down to the 15. So that's going to be a pickup of 11, and we are now entering the New Motors Subaru Red Zone. Make each trip you take a touchdown every time in a new or used New Motors Subaru. Stop by today.
That time Greenville just got a little bit more aggressive, John, in terms of they're going to control between the tackles. Kind of got away from the misdirection and just kind of got a good push upfield, and now they're knocking on the door one more time, 16-yard line.
16-yard line, 1st and 10. As the handoff to Emmerich again, he'll push the pile forward into the 10, and we'll see where they spot him, probably right around the 10 for a pickup of about 6.
So there we go. There's a couple plays in a row. Veneri's kind of standing there on his heels, reading the guard where he's coming. Greenville said, all right, cool. We'll just switch it up. We're just going to run it right at you. And that all of a sudden that's what they're doing as we work under 3 minutes. And again, now it's Jeff Root's turn. Now, what's he got?
Do want to mention, stay tuned throughout halftime show, the New Motors Subaru and Volkswagen halftime show. That's coming up in just a few short minutes. Out of the wing tee, it's Emmerich again. He'll push forward and get down to around maybe the 7 or 8 before the pile is stopped here as we tick towards 2 minutes left in this opening half of play that has been, as expected, highly entertaining.
Yeah, Tyler Quinn that time crashed down, got to the ankles, makes the stop.
Pickup of 2 there. So 42 yards on 9 carries unofficially for Emmerich here tonight.
Let's see, do you go play action on 3rd down and 2? I don't think you're kicking. Covert to the top of the formation. 1-on-1 up there with Jones.
Thurber under center, Porter the man in motion. That's where the flip goes as he tries to cut it up. And I think down the line, a great shot by our crew there. I think he's going to have enough for the 1st down.
Feliciano's going to get credit for the stop, but I think
You're going to give 3. Yeah, they gave him 3, needed 2.
Yep, so we'll be first and goal from the 5.
16 carries, 81 for Porter as we tick under 2 minutes here in the McMillen towing first half. And we're going to have a timeout, I believe. We'll keep it here. As we'll keep it here, Sports Obsession, a proud sponsor this season of high school football. Again, if you're just joining us, get those phones out, your tablet or device, scan the QR code, and enter for your chance to win a Sports Obsession gift card of $25 as we will step aside here and come back with the possession for the Greenville Trojans. All right, we welcome you back as a run there. It looks like down to about the, what's that going to be, about the
No gain.
No gain for Porter.
Nice
there
job.
that time.
It was hard to tell from our angle. It looks like they stretched it out laterally, but couldn't really tell. But the lines with a much better angle than we had. So great job up front there that time, and the linebackers flowing to the football from the Lakers.
2nd and goal now. See, the man in motion this time. That is McGurr, and he has not much going there. Maybe gets a yard.
Veneri, right? I mean, Veneri's in the backfield. That was not designed to be cut back inside lighting. That was designed to go to the far pylon, and Veneri's up the hash and nowhere to go. He has been absolutely spectacular here in the second half of this quarter, and given the Lakers that spark on defense that they've desperately needed.
We have another timeout. Do want to thank as well, you've seen it a little bit. I know you've asked for many of you at home after we saw last season. Want to thank our instant replay sponsor this year, Ashley and Kuzma, who's been a big part. Also, our Red Zone sponsor, New Motors Subaru. We are in the New Motors Red Zone. Stop by today and make it a touchdown trip for a new or used New Motors Subaru. Stop in today. Also want to thank Sports Obsession, who has done a great job. Again, you've seen that QR code a couple of times, and there it is once again. Want to get a gift card? Gear up to wear your team's favorite gear, as you can scan that QR code and maybe be one of the winners throughout this season to win a $25 gift card. If you win, we will contact you. Just tell us where you're watching tonight's game so we can know, and we appreciate all of you watching or listening to our high school game of the week. Well, Joe, it's been a highly entertaining game here. 4 touchdowns in the first half, under a minute to go. The Trojans and Lakers each with a timeout left in this one, as it'll be 3rd and goal. But we know the Trojans can convert on 4th and goal.
Yeah,
as they did in their
yeah.
last
I mean,
touchdown
there's been stuff here for everybody. You know, you've had the chunk plays. You've had some really good offensive line play. It's been physical.
As they go with the handoff there, that time McGurr, and he's able to set the edge as he runs in for the 5-yard touchdown.
That time Thurber did a much better job on the sail, freezing the middle of that Laker defense that allowed McGurr to bounce it outside. And a very impressive drive. The final, it's about a 6.5-minute drive, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, started at 6:10, down to 45 seconds, so yeah. As we're going to go to the Ashley and Kuzma instant replay. There you go. You got them just getting about around that time. A.J. Horton was the last defender. But it is McGurr with the touchdown, the 3rd of the night for the Trojans. So we'll see on the extra point here attempt. Watch for Mercyhurst Prep.
This is where things have been sketchy.
All right, Mercyhurst Prep held there. A low snap. We'll see if they can get it off. And just short.
You want to talk about insult to injury. They have the 2 penalties on the prior tries, and then that kick was nowhere near. So keep that in mind as we get to the stretch run. But a very impressive drive here by Greenville as they lead by 10 now.
So their second touchdown of the quarter. And again, don't go anywhere once we conclude this first half, because we'll have the new Motors, Subaru, and Volkswagen halftime show where we'll take a look at what transpired here at Saxon Stadium, take a look at some statistics, some second half adjustments, and we'll try to take you out of town to get some score updates from many of the other District 10 games happening here this evening on week 1 of the high school football season.
Well, with number 5 still wearing a green uniform, they got plenty of time to get one here before they head to the locker room.
They only needed one play to go 44 yards, so he has runs here tonight of 18, 27, as well as that big one that popped for the 44-yarder.
I would imagine that Hunter Cox has been instructed, do not kick it anywhere near number 5. And he does not, and he kicks it almost out of bounds.
As it's rolling, we'll see the Lakers pick it up, but they can't get back past much. Maybe the 22 is where they'll start things off here, so a long way to go for Mercyhurst Prep.
Yeah, that was a well-designed special teams play that time by Greenville. I'm not going to lie. I would, if it's my option to kick it out of bounds or kick it to Feliciano, I'm kicking out of bounds.
Well, we saw last year, Mark Brooks' club at Girard, they would do that.
Yeah,
they would just kick it out, take the penalty, because they didn't want to start things off or give team a spark on special teams. So different strategies from different people.
I'm just saying. He's we've seen guys like him. Journey Brown, Ethan Knox come to mind, where you couldn't risk it.
Yeah.
I want to see what they do here, though.
Yeah, there will not be band. Greenville's band did travel tonight. They'll play postgame here at Saxon Stadium. We will, though, bring you the Meet the Lakers as the many other fall sports teams will be introduced here for Mercyhurst Prep.
Now, Mercyhurst only has the one timeout. Greenville has no timeouts.
So
I don't envision you come out here and chuck it.
No, not when your quarterback has thrown one pass.
But if you get him for 15 or 20 on the first play, that changes everything. You do get the ball to start the second half. So, you're down 10. You certainly don't want to go pick 6 the other way.
Conservative if you're going to air it out.
Yeah, I think that what happens here on first down will determine what happens on second down.
So it's Cottrell out of the pistol, and I believe that's Feliciano in the backfield to start things off there with that white arm sleeve, and he takes it, tries to go right up the middle, tries to cut it back, but he's going to be dropped there quickly by the Trojans there that time.
Great tackle, Colton Godfrey, sophomore linebacker, number 24 on the stop, and
we'll see the Lakers might try to go quickly.
They do appear to be going quickly.
See if Cottrell tries to air one out. Nope, they'll just take it, hand it to Feliciano, breaks one tackle. He's across the 25 out to the 30. Breaks another tackle, still loose. We'll see the Trojans just usher him out with about 8.3 seconds to go in this one. So Feliciano from the 22, we'll see where they finally marked him out at the 43.
So, this is where in high school the math gets hard, right? What do you do from the standpoint of your quarterback? You probably need 30 yards before you're comfortable heaving it. Yeah, I don't know if the time's going to add up. I think you just got to give it to your guy and see if you can make somebody miss.
Yeah, he almost did there. As we'll set things up with Cottrell right around the 43 of the Lakers. And he has 2 backs, one to either side. We'll see if it goes. He's going to toss it out. Cottrell looks deep over the middle. And is that pass? And there's going to be a flag.
Hold your bingo card. Late flag. What? I'm confused here.
Where we were, we could only see a vantage point on our screen.
I'm not certain. Jeff Root, it looks like he was upset, but I thought the penalty would have been on Greenville.
Here's the Ashley and Kuzma instant replay. We're going to take you to it, and it looks like that went that time to Ty Mims, who brought it down and then takes the hit.
It will be. So the catch plus.
catch plus 15.
Okay, now 2.3. Now you're having a totally different conversation. I think if you're Jeff Root, you got to take your time out here.
So the ball got to the 43 of the other side.
I think if you're Jeff
24.
Root, you have to take your time out here. 2.3. This is going to be the final play of the half.
That went to Mims for pickup of 24 plus the 15-yard penalty. It has not been a clean first half. I have 5 penalties for 42 yards for Greenville. So
I can't believe he's not taking a timeout here.
So we did not have Feliciano in the game as it stands now. It's Cottrell looking deep to the end zone. He has Mims again, but that one just overthrown, and that will end the first half of play on that incompletion. So the score after 2 quarters of play, Greenville 22, Mercyhurst Prep 12. Don't go anywhere. Halftime presented by New Motors, Subaru, and Volkswagen is coming up next.
The Halftime Show, proudly sponsored by New Motors, Subaru, and Volkswagen.
To the broadcast booth, Joe Lanuski feverishly working to get the scores, as we'll have later in the game. But right now, it's the Meet the Lakers segment, so we'll take you to the public address announcer as many of the fall teams here for Mercyhurst Prep. All right, there's many of the Lakers fall sports teams they're introducing here at Saxon Stadium as we welcome you back into the wonderful broadcast booth that we have here at Saxon Stadium.
Not fall off the back of the stage, but anyway, here we go.
Joe Lednowski, John Leidick.
Jeez.
Joe,
this is why they don't let us out.
Yeah, this is exactly why they put us in studio on Sunday. All right, Joe, first half reaction from what you saw here tonight. You can see the cat and mouse game going on.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can see the cat and mouse. There's a lot of wow, and there's a lot of wow. I mean, there's been a lot of good and a lot of bad. It's week one. It's what do you expect? And I think when you have two good teams, this is when the mistakes get exposed, right? I mean, if one team's far superior, the mistakes, it'll kind of, the two offside penalties on the kick or the tries, really the kind of the difference in this one. But, I think Veneri defensively, that middle linebacker has been the difference. I think without him, I think the Lakers could be out in the lake without the proverbial paddle. They've made some nice defensive adjustments. And, if you're Vinny Feliciano, you can change it like that. We saw it. We almost saw it at the end of the half. But yeah, I think that at some point, Mercyhurst Prep's going to have to throw the football a little bit.
Neither team love to throw the football.
No, but I think there's enough of a threat with Greenville because they do have some weapons. Williams with a really impressive spin move, one-on-one in space, where you can't be playing downhill. I think at some point Jeff Root is going to have to let Cotterill kind of stretch the field a little bit and see what happens.
If you're just joining us here tonight, it all started off with a 2-yard run by Landon Porter to get things going. A 2-point try, 8-0. Vinny Feliciano and the Lakers went right down on their opening possession. A 5-yard touchdown run for Feliciano to make it 8-6. And then, as you mentioned, Joe, not all fourth downs and fourth and goals are made equal.
Yeah, no.
There was a 15-yard pass by Cale Thurber to Williams. Divine Williams on that for a 15-yard touchdown.
And that wasn't the only one. The conversion that kept the drive alive, too.
Yes, they
to
also
Sherman. That was incredible. Or to Cox, excuse me.
That was a 32-yard on the heave there. So that made it 16-6 after the 2-point try. After the teams traded punts, it was Feliciano, just one play needed. He goes 44 yards to make it 16-12 on the failed 2-point try. And then McGurr, the final touchdown of that opening half, a 5-yard touchdown run. The extra point, no good there. That's where we stand 22-12. So we'll continue here on the New Motors, Subaru, and Volkswagen halftime show. Joe Lednowski will have your out-of-town scores that we've gathered so far. You're watching the high school football game of the week. All right, we welcome you back into the broadcast booth here in this one as we get set to continue on the New Motors Subaru and Volkswagen halftime show. John Leidick alongside Joe Lidnuski. Joe, plenty of other games tonight, 16 in total. That includes the one here, so 15 others from out of town, and some other scores, some interesting games across the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you didn't tell me there'd be math, and I'd have to try to read my own handwriting on television, but here we go.
I'll get you a pizza or something.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. We believe these are all halftime scores. Central Clarion leads General McLean 9-7. Cathedral Prep 13-0 over Sharon. McDowell and Mentor are tied at 10. LaBeouf 21, Fairview 10. Slippery Rock leads Wilmington 13-7. Northeast leads Harbor Creek 20-14. Iroquois 10-7 at the break over Eisenhower. Cash 27-9 over Northwestern. Girard 10-7 over Seneca and Warren tied at 14. And outside of Prep and Sharon, in terms of one of those, they're playing in week number 1. This is a good one. Southern Columbia and Wyomissing tied at 14. We talked about that on our radio pregame show. There's a couple games that are kind of just that national, statewide headline. But Southern Columbia, Wyomissing, that sounds like a good ball game as well.
You mentioned about McDowell. As I think we're okay here.
Yeah, mate, what's
Want to
going
get
on?
Made TV. Trying to make TikTok famous.
Apparently. Not at our expense, though.
Not at our expense.
I don't want that.
All right. McDowell hanging in there with Metro Ohio opening. That's an impressive one for Coach Slocum out there to start in Ohio.
I mean, there's been some reason to get excited about McDowell. There has been a lot of people with the wait-and-see approach.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Right? I mean, there's a lot of football to be played, but I could think of worse places to be than tied at 10 at halftime with Mentor, right?
Yeah, not a bad place. Let's take a look at some of the statistics from tonight's contest here so far. Landon Porter, unofficially, again, math is not our highlight here, but let's take first a look at the team stats here. Passing 69 yards so far for Greenville. And, Joe, it's certainly been the ground and pound game here in this one.
Yeah, it's been the ground and pound game, but we talk about chunk plays, and Greenville's chunk plays in the air have been the difference, right? As good as their offensive line had been, and Mercyhurst Press made some adjustments, that the two big chunk plays in the air both led to touchdowns. So, and that's what I said about Jeff Root and company. At some point, they're going to have to look to take the lid off just because you get real easy to defend and the number 5 gets bigger and bigger. Easier said than done. But if you're going to only make me play 8 in the box, I'm going to take my chances.
Let's take a look at some of the individual statistics in this one. Landon Porter, unofficially 17 carries for 81 yards. You have Emmerich with 9 carries for 42, and then McGurr with 5 for 20 on the ground. As you saw there, so far tonight, 3 for 6 for Cale Thurber for the 69 yards passing. On the other side, Vinny Feliciano, 10 carries in that opening half of play, 102 yards. And you also had Elman Sparks with 1 carry for 12 yards. And the 1 completion right there towards the end of the half, 1 for 3, Everett Cottrell with the 24 yards passing here tonight. Again, Feliciano with a pair of rushing touchdowns, McGurr with a rushing touchdown, Porter with a rushing touchdown, and then it was Thurber to Tavine Williams on that 4th and goal for the 15-yard touchdown. So that's where we have our scores here, partner, through this one.
Yep.
As we tick down here, we'll check with about 6:20 to go before we go. As we take a look, too, we want to remind you that your chance to scan the QR code right here, enter to play, as if you scan this QR code, tell us where you're watching. We want to know how you're consuming high school football here tonight, whether it's in person at a game or you're watching the game of the week. You can scan and enter for a chance to win a Sports Obsession gift card. We will contact you if you are the winner of this week's Sports Obsession gift card giveaway. Again, gear up for game day with Sports Obsession. We'll continue on the New Motors Subaru and Volkswagen halftime show right here in just a moment. You're watching the high school football game of the week. We welcome you back to the new Motors Subaru.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say. But we do want to thank all our great sponsors that are a part of this. Many of the primary sponsors that we have: McMillen Towing, Ross Notary, Leon Construction, Orthopedic Associates of Meadville, ENN Plus is powered by the Plastic Group. They'll be a part of our post-game show that we will have a player of the game and play of the game to talk about here, Joe. But as we get set here, still about 2 minutes, and it'll probably be a little bit longer than that. The teams aren't out
they'll
here
put the 3 extra on there too. But
so plenty of time for us to talk.
Yeah.
Let's start with Greenville. What are the things that Coach Menold are maybe talking about here heading into the second half?
I think he's got to be thrilled with the physicality. It's going to be really hard to win if you don't win at the point of attack. And I think box checked. These are both, and I think that probably goes for both sides, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say the best they'll play because that's probably not true. But for the foreseeable future, it'll be the best that they'll play up front. So you got to be happy with that. I would imagine that maybe as tonight goes on and the year goes on, Thurber's leash will get a little longer.
Right.
I think he made some really good decisions. That scramble drill that was a spectacular throw to Cox. Spectacular throw. Cox made the recognition. I'm going. They hooked up. That to me, I think that is we take steps, right? And I think both coaches will be unhappy with the sloppiness, as they should. It's week 1, but that was one of the keys to the game. We knew this was going to happen. Like these are still children.
Right.
This isn't
14 to 18
this isn't the Steelers and the Bills. I mean, we're talking about guys that they're going to make mistakes. They're geeked up. It's week 1. That's fine. It's going to happen. And they know that. This isn't. We're not reinventing the wheel here.
Oh, these are two good teams.
Yeah,
too.
and like I said, it's mano a mano in the trenches. You've got eyes on the same guy that's coming after you on the other side of the ball. So, I mean, the back and forth, which I think plays into that too. He got me in the last series. How do I get him? Yada, yada, yada. You got to tidy that up. Not only this week, but moving forward. That goes without saying. Special teams has not been kind.
To either side.
To either side, which, again, will drive coaches nuts. And, special teams are one of those things that nobody cares about until what? They don't work. When they don't work, then they're a big talking point, which, again, I'm sure these guys will get that cleaned up. I think right now the move of the game is Jeff Root and company with Veneri. Veneri has made it felt for a time, specifically prior to that drive where Veneri made all the adjustments, that Greenville was going to mop Mercyhurst Prep. They made some adjustments. Now all of a sudden we got ourselves a ball game. Mercyhurst gets the ball to start second half. We got a different feel to the game. So if there's been a move that is the most important move, that adjustment was made. And, it was simply Veneri kind of waiting and reading the guards. They're going to lead you to the football. Then the counter move, they marched him down the field, was, all right, if you're going to sit there and read it, which, as he should, we're just going to run it right at you, and we're going to get 7-8 yards in front of you. So what now? Now the move is back to you. At some point, though, JD, the home team, the team in green, is going to have to throw the football. It's not realistic to think, I know he can spring you. The problem is Greenville can play keep away.
Yeah.
So at some point, I think the green team's got to throw the football. But all in all, for a game other than maybe some state implication rankings-wise, doesn't mean a hill of beans in the grand scheme of things.
Right. Greenville's up in 2A. Mercyhurst Prep drops down. They, in essence, swap positions.
Yeah. So both of these programs, I think, have to be very, very pleased and have a lot to work on, which, that's the thing that you always talk about in week 1. That's why I love a good matchup like this. There's a couple other good matchups that leave a lot to be desired. We talk about resting on your laurels. The last thing you want if you're either Greenville or Mercyhurst Prep, thinking that you're going to be pretty good, knowing you're going to be pretty good, is to go out there and win 56-0, and it's a mercy rule game, and you're thinking you're on top of the world. That's the last thing any coach wants. They want to be tested, and Mercyhurst Prep, they've got some things to clean up on. But again, this is not nothing. This is a Greenville team that's going to hang around, and don't be surprised when they're playing for the District 10 AA championship game again. I think they're that good.
Yeah. against another team from down south,
Yeah.
but Farrell is usually
Steelers.
a part of that.
Yeah.
And a team
Heard
that
of
makes a
them.
run.
By the way, they're playing Clairton tomorrow.
Yes,
right?
and that big showcase.
Yeah,
down at
Hickory
the
plays
Wolf Arena.
Westinghouse. Yeah, that'd be fun afternoon of football.
It's going to be all day down there in the Pittsburgh area. That will about wrap up the New Motors Subaru and Volkswagen halftime show. Again, it is all brought to you by there. From our lot to your driveway, we are transforming the car buying experience as we get set for third quarter action. The Lakers are ready to go. They will receive the second half kickoff after deferring and winning the coin toss to start this one. And we'll see what Jeff Root and company have in store for this opening drive. Again, do want to mention the fact maybe it was a cramp, quad, lower body injury. Vinny Feliciano, for at least a small portion of this game, did
I
leave.
saw him look pretty good in the 44-yard touchdown run afterwards. But, yeah, I mean, obviously not only for the rest of this one, but, the future. And I know he's got aspirations. I love the fact that he's come out and said he wants to rush for 3,000 yards. I mean, I respect the daylights out of that.
Yeah, we don't see that often,
No.
other than guys like Journey Brown and Ethan Knox down in Crawford and Venango County. So there's the score. 22-12 is where we currently stand as we get ready for the third quarter of play. Should be an entertaining one. Want to thank all of you, whether you're listening on Happy 927 or you're watching on the Erie News Now YouTube page, ENN Plus, or over the air at home in the comfort of your living room, the local establishment, and your different communities or wherever.
Yeah.
We thank you for joining us. John Leidick alongside Joe Lednuski. Greenville is all set up. They'll get set to send it away, as that will be Hunter Cox setting to kick it off. And then Mercyhurst Prep, final discussions about what they want to do for the kick return.
Going to go out on a limb and say that Mr. Cox is not going to kick it to number 5.
That would probably be an accurate statement, and
Yeah.
maybe not a bold choice.
Yeah, I would be very surprised.
It would be a bold choice if he decided to.
Yeah, and that is going to be near side of the field is Feliciano, as he is back deep again with Elman Sparks.
So it's going to go towards Elman Sparks, who will take it right around his own 13-yard line. He's going to cut it across to the right. Plenty of guys in coverage there, but he's able to get it up field near the 37 or 38-yard line. So good starting field position for the Lakers as they get underway in the third quarter. That's brought to you by the Meadville, the Orthopedic Meadville Medical Center, I believe here. The Orthopedic Associates of Meadville, that should read. I beg your pardon.
How
as we'll
about
get set.
Feliciano with the block that really kind of sprung him on the short kick? But again, field possession has been kind to both of these teams.
So they'll start things off 11:51 from the 38-yard line. So we'll get underway here as the two running backs, one to either side. Feliciano man in motion for Cottrell out of the shotgun. As the handoff to Feliciano, he'll try the left side here. He has room to run. A diving tackle and a jump there, and Feliciano will just find his way out up across the 50 and finally pushed out around the 47-yard line there.
Great block by Mims, better effort by Covert to shed it. But how about, again, Vinny just showing off the athleticism, hurdles him before he goes out of bounds. Really, the wheel looks okay.
Yeah. I think he'll be all right. Got a little work there at halftime, and he'll be okay. That's a pickup of 15
He
on
can
the first
fly.
run of the second half.
Not hurting the yards per carry either.
No, he is doing pretty good. That's his, I believe, third run of 10 yards or more here tonight.
I heard that's good. Can you confirm?
I can't confirm per sources. As we continue along here, Feliciano will be the lone sidecar to Cottrell's right. As they work out and send the man in motion. As that time, Elman Sparks working his way down to around the 41-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 6.
Tell you what, I'm going to sound like Feliciano's agent here, but any college coach watching that film, when your already committed Division I running back becomes the lead blocker and takes on the safety coming down, that's the second in as many plays as he's become the lead blocker. And that's just the balance that they're going to have to get. Everybody's going to be sitting on the home run hitter. But in order for Jeff Root and company to get where they want, Elman Sparks has to be equally in the game plan in terms of being the home run hitter. And this is a dynamic backfield for sure.
A.J. Horton also back there with Feliciano, but the handoff goes to Feliciano. He tries the right side. He's inside the 40 and dives his way down to around the 37-yard line, as that would be a pickup of 5 and close to his fresh set of downs.
Justin Schell, the safety, comes down to make the stop, but it will be a new set of downs.
So he got right to the yard line there. As we continue along here, getting closer and closer is Mercyhurst Prep to entering that new motor Subaru.
Are you okay?
Red Zone.
Pull the choke, JD. That thing will start.
All right. It's week 1 for all of us there, Joe. Evan Cottrell will go with the 2 backs, one to either side of him, out of the shotgun formation.
Yep.
And, yeah, there was
some movement. Now, was it Veneri that caused it? Because it was
they're going to call it
Remmel.
Greenville.
Right, 75. Yep, Cameron Remmel. The big fella got that 260 pounds moving forward and couldn't stop it. First down and 5 now. They're 5 yards closer to the
New Motors Subaru Red Zone. They are just 12 yards away.
You just keep putting that thing on a tee and going to hit it, all right?
Eventually I'll find the fairway on that one. 10:53 to go here in the third quarter as the Lakers man in motion. And the handoff to Feliciano. He just waits. He's going to try and cut it back to the other side, see if he can pick up the blocks. And now he's got the quarterback, Cottrell. And he is going to get down inside the 5, finally brought down at the 2.
They're going to call an illegal crackback.
But it's coming back.
They're going to call it. And the worst part was he didn't need it.
Yeah.
He didn't need it. And that is going to be a monster penalty when it's all said and done.
Boy, Joe, you hate to make comparisons to guys, but boy, didn't that patience look like very much like the Le'Veon Bell of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Wait, follow his blocks, and then find where he can put his foot in the ground and go.
Yeah, the reverse the field, that's the problem. And
everybody starts turning around.
Yeah, it's not designed to go that way. And I don't fundamentally agree with it. I don't, because if you're the safety, you got to know, right? You got to know too. And we saw him reverse field. Everybody saw him reverse field. But, that in the end, that is going to be about a 43-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Now, that won't count for that, but it will be about a 43-yard penalty because the ball's back to the 45-yard line. Great run by Feliciano, negated by the crackback.
So now the handoff goes to Feliciano. He gets a hole. I beg your pardon. Great job there that time. Down inside the 25 is A.J. Horton with a great run, his best of the night.
That time, Vinny was the decoy. They ran the fake read to him, and, he walked out. And with that, he walked out that far safety and opened up the whole backside of the field. So a really nice design of the play, the concept, but more importantly, it's a gain of 22 yards down to the 23-yard line. Still have not gotten all the penalty back, but in terms of down and distance, they are back on schedule. But that's the thing as we talk about. It cannot just be Feliciano, but he's as good as a decoy sometimes, and he really set that up with that pre-snap motion.
That's exactly what you heard from Jeff Rood as part of the asset protection pregame. Man in motion, Elman Sparks. They fake to him, and they're going to give it. Again, that one's going to go to Horton as he works his way inside around the 15.
Yeah, Elman Sparks and Feliciano become the lead blockers as well as the tackle on that side of the formation. The right tackle getting out in front as they're into the – you ready for it?
New Motors Subaru Red Zone make each trip like a touchdown every time in a new or used New Motors Subaru. Stop by today.
Boy, it's going to be a long year for that read.
No, we do appreciate these broadcasts wouldn't be possible without our great sponsors, from the main sponsor throughout each and every quarter to our pregame show, impact players, and much more. We thank all of our sponsors for making the broadcast of our high school game of the week possible. Man in motion, Elman Sparks. They
Counter.
fake it to that on the counter. Feliciano cutback. What a move there as he finds his way into the end zone. A 14-yard touchdown.
Dynamic. I love the pre-snap motion. The safety's got eyes in the backfield, and that time they reverse the roles. Elman Sparks becomes the decoy. They run the counter behind it, and just like that, the Lakers march it down the field, and we've got ourselves a ball game. Now the replay, as you just see, the C's parted, he lowers the pads, but there's nobody there. There's nobody there because of that pre-snap motion. Everybody's jumping out a couple lanes, and really, I love the explosiveness that he's willing to lower the pads as well.
Ashley and Kuzma, physical therapy, bringing you that replay, keeping athletes and everyone at the top of their game.
Well,
so do you chase the points here? Or do
they're going to have to at some point. Or a turnover. We've not had a turnover yet. Maybe the turnover's where the points come from.
Yeah, indeed they are. They're going to go for 2 here. Lorenzo Baker not out there, so Cottrell will operate here from the 3. Man in motion is Horton. Cottrell's going to roll out, fakes, looks for Feliciano, and that one is tipped. And did he catch
Caught
that?
it on the rebound.
How about that?
That was not the intended target. I think that was
pass scores. They're awaiting, just like they drew it up, Joe.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw it to the underneath guy. He's going to tip it up. And, Chase, you just stand there and wait for it. We're going to get another look at it here in the instant replay. But nice job by Cottrell to keep his eyes downfield and lets it go. And
off of Feliciano's hands.
Ooh,
and right into pass.
Pays the price, too. Big stick on the back end of that by Keith Cover. But how about the Johnny on the spot? Where were you when, Chase? Well, I was standing at the pylon waiting for the tip. That's where I was.
All right, a 2-point game now. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the high school football game of the week. Welcome you back to Saxon Stadium, and a good kickoff return this time as Greenville will get the football for the first time in the second half, and they'll start things right off at the 50.
Yeah, Devine Williams with a nice return, and then Lorenzo Baker, the kicker, with the stop. Not certain that's what he signed up for, the soccer player. You know?
Well, he is the goalkeeper, so he's used to making stops. So.
Yeah, that was good open field tackle, but excellent field position again here to start a drive.
As the pitch to Porter as he has a chance. Can he bounce it outside? And a great job there on the tackle. Swung down that time as it's Elman Sparks.
Yeah, McGurr tried his best to hold the edge. Had no choice but to let him loose. It would have drawn a holding penalty. And eye on Elman Sparks, the senior linebacker coming off the edge. Makes a big stop. And all of a sudden, JD, out of the locker room, feels like maybe the old Mo might have swung to the home team.
Certainly does, and boy, nothing that a coach can appreciate more is when those defensive backs can come down and make the open field tackles.
Yep, here we go. 2nd down and 8. Big spot to get off the field here for the home team.
from the 48 as man in motion, and that's who it's going to go to that time. So I believe that's McGurr. Indeed, it is. 45 and tries to fall forward to the 44, but not much doing. These are short runs for the Greenville Trojans.
Well, they're doing a much better job sideline to sideline, and really what they're doing is the corners are not getting blocked as much as they are as holding up the flow of the run. And that time, I believe, it was Horton out there who didn't do anything. But what he did was he maintained his responsibility, and that ball just could not be cut upfield and then allowed the pursuit to come. And what had been happening earlier is they were getting blocks. I believe that's a cramp issue again. And now
that's going to be
– return the favor.
Yeah, that's Cameron Reimel, the senior left tackle, 6'3", 260. Has great sportsmanship there by the Lakers to help the injured offensive lineman off the field.
I did see Vanieri stretching out a calf like he was having some cramping issues, and that sort of looks like Reimold is just cramped up, I hope, because he has been literally and figuratively a big player at the line of scrimmage, as it looks like he's just cramped up as he's trying to get some weight. But he, again, you just can't, I don't care how much you listen. I don't care how hard you try to prepare. You're just never going to have that same intensity. And let's be honest, they're probably never going to drink as much water as you should. And you just see this on each and every night. It's chilly almost now, John. But it's not a temperature thing per se. It's have you prepared yourself, to hydrate? And now with Reimold out of there, a big 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, we'll see. Matthew Springer was the guy that I saw warming up there. We'll see if that's who comes in at the tackle position, if they have to shift things around. But, 3rd and 5 here. And for the first time tonight, Cale Thurber is going to go out of the shotgun. And we have another whistle. Oh. Greenville's going to take a timeout. We will as well. Back in a moment. You're watching the high school football game of the week. And you had Cale Thurber looking for Justin Shell as it fell incomplete. So we'll see what Mike Meadville decides to do here. 4th and 5 from the 45 of Mercyhurst Prep.
Great coverage by Ty Mims. Now, to this point, this is the play of the game.
Yeah, because this is going to be, again, you don't convert. This is very favorable field position, and we saw how easily between Horton and Feliciano, they ran the ball in the first possession for the Lakers in the second half. So shotgun.
Tyler Quinn, number 75, in the middle of that defense. Keep an eye on him.
Just a sidecar to the right, and McGurr in motion. He's trying to get to the outside as Cale Thurber. He's not going to get there. Could have been a penalty flagged there, but nonetheless, it's a turnover on downs.
Well, out of the locker room anyway, the green shirts are starting to push around the white shirts on both sides of the ball here. Now, what's Greenville got up their sleeve? Because I think you're going to see Vinny Feliciano here. Look, watch for that pre-snap. You're going to have to keep eyes on this, JD, because they have certainly found something. The eye discipline getting a little bit sloppy here for Greenville. We've seen it the last, 3 plays. Pre-snap motion has really opened up the field for them. So they're going to operate from the far hash. 43-yard line is where they will start. And a timeout?
Yeah, we're going to have a timeout. We'll take one as well as the Lakers will get set for their second drive of the second half. Back here in a moment. And out of the timeout, we have a flag. As we rejoin you here at Saxon Stadium, John Leidig alongside Joe Lindnusky. It has been an interesting last couple
Can I just say, this has been the clunkiest change of momentum I've ever been a part of. A timeout out of the chamber of possession, and then Greenville is offside. So a gain of 5 without a snap of the football for the Lakers. And interesting, I don't for those folks keeping score at home, at least on that first down, or the first try at first down, there was no Vinny Feliciano out there for the home team.
Certainly, Mercyhurst Prep has been the more well-disciplined team in this one. That is, once again, 52 penalty yards so far tonight, minus that one big one that set Feliciano back. They eventually scored on the last drive. Man in motion for the Lakers is Cottrell out of the shotgun, going to fake it. A little play action here, going to throw to the outside, and that one well short of the intended receiver.
I like that play call on first down and 5 because, you know, that if you're going to stretch the field, you're going to show pass. You make them respect that possibility. Brings up second down and 5. I love that play call by Jeff Root. Now, again, where is Mr. Feliciano
to start this drive?
To start the drive.
Yeah, and that was J.T. Jones, the man in motion. That was nice, too. You get a man in motion, get a little speed off the line, and trying to get some separation for your quarterback there as well.
Still not out there.
Pass scores, Jones and Mims, the guys that are spread out here. Horton, the sidecar to the right. It's Jones in motion again. It's Cottrell out of the shotgun. So they're going to do the handoff here. This time it's Elman Sparks going to bounce it to the left side there. As he tries to pick up the first down marker, and it'll be close.
Thurber with the textbook open field tackle, but I don't think it's going to be enough to bring up third down. It will not be. Only needing 5, gets 5.5, it would appear.
Gets 4.5? Well, they'll give him the 5.
They're going to give him the 5. They're going to move the sticks. And Feliciano is out there. Maybe they're just giving him a rest. I don't know.
Everybody needs a rest every once in a while.
I could use a rest. After that pizza you promised me.
Yeah, I know.
Do we have an ETA on that pizza?
Yeah.
That's going to be here anytime soon.
Working on a sponsorship deal for that one.
Let's work faster.
Yeah. I'll try to call a game here. Cottrell out of the shotgun. He has Feliciano and Horton. Feliciano will take it. Tries to get to the left side. One bounce. Can he get past? A hurdle there as he tries to work down inside. But we do have a whistle.
The Greenville sideline is irate.
We have a flag here.
The whole left side of the offensive line was offsides. But they're going to get a holding. That's probably better for the Greenville. But Greenville's sideline was irate because they absolutely started early. But maybe the holding call will be of bigger benefit to Greenville because that will be of the 10-yard variety.
That will push them back across midfield. Does Mercyhurst go? While we have a moment, we want to remind you to scan the QR code that is about to appear on your screen. Let us know where you're watching, and you can be entered to win a $25 gift card for Sports Obsession. We'll contact you if you are the winner to let you know as Sports Obsession, where you go to gear up for game day. So now 1st and 20, Joe. We'll see with Feliciano the sidecar to Cottrell's left.
2-by-1. There's the pre-snap.
Tried to see, and they set things up as Feliciano tries to cut it upfield, but a good job that time by Greenville and a host of tacklers coming in to limit the gain to a short distance.
Yeah, great job by Colton Godfrey, the sophomore, number 24. That's the second or third time we've called his name.
Looks like Hunter Cox is still down. As injured Greenville is Hunter Cox. We'll step aside. We'll be back here in a moment. You're watching the high school football game of the week. Welcome back to Saxon Stadium as Hunter Cox now helped to his feet. We'll see if he can work that out again. We've seen a number of players. He's going to stay.
Well, he wanted to stay in.
He's got to come out for.
That's not the rule, bud. You got
to come out for at least one play.
In other news, Reimold is back in there. So I think we're just dealing with some cramps.
Yeah. Again, you go through. The problem is you hear that heat acclimation week, but here in northwestern Pennsylvania, it's not all that hot the last couple of weeks. So you don't really get that conditioning aspect into it.
And the hydration factor, again, you literally can't drink enough water.
So it'll be Feliciano in the backfield. Cottrell out of the shotgun. Low snap, and Cottrell the pass. A quick screen to pass scores. But a good job to come up and make the tackle was the Greenville defense. And now we have another injured. That's Porter down on the field now.
I like the concept, but I think that there was a missed assignment because it was the wide receiver and Veneri who kind of drove the corner outside, and I think one of them was supposed to be responsible for the safety, and he had free run as they tried to set up the tunnel screen. And now it'll be 3rd down and 16.
That one went for just 2 there.
Yeah, that's trying to loosen things up a little bit with the perimeter, but again, I think you're going to at least, and obviously not here, but at some point, to keep them honest, I think you're going to have to try to push one vertically between the hashes.
Once again, working on those cramps there. You see the apparatus try to get that calf loosened up, working on the foot. We want to mention, too, as well, and once this game goes final, don't go anywhere. Don't change the channel or turn things off. If
John's buying pizza for everybody.
92 Sappy, 92.7. You've got the Plastic Group post-game show where we'll hand out the player of the game, recap this one, tell you about some of the scores from out of town, and we'll have our play of the game as well. Plenty to get to here as we continue along. Also want to take a moment to thank our great sponsors, making these broadcasts possible to bring to you. McMillen Towing, stuck on the road. We'll be there fast. Erie's trusted towing and roadside assistance. Ross Notary, keeping you rolling since 1970. Leon Construction, the king of quality, and the Orthopedic Associates of Meadville, advancing orthopedics for more than 50 years. If you're watching on Erie News Now Plus, it is all powered by the Plastic Group. So we'll see what Jeff Root and company try to draw things up. See if they try to go Feliciano, and then if you can get, 12 yards, maybe think about it. You get to the other side of the field.
Yeah, I think Jeff Root's got to feel pretty good about himself right now. I don't think he's going to get. I don't think he needs to get too aggressive here. They're right back in this ball game. They've certainly taken back the momentum. 10 unanswered? No. Yeah. Right? Yeah, it was 22-12.
Yeah.
Well, there's the
Cottrell
stretch.
Throws it downfield. Feliciano trying to get underneath it.
And they're going to want the flag, but I don't know if you can reward a ball that's underthrown.
He did a good job, as they tell you, to try and come back and get the football,
Yeah.
but it's going to fall incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th and 16, and that.
I applaud the effort, but again, when the ball's underthrown, the DB's just as entitled to that real estate as well. Take another look here.
It's the Ashley and Kuzma
he
replay, and a good
took
job there that
Big
time.
stick on the end of it as well.
Who was that coming across? I believe was that Shell. Feliciano had it there, but a good poke out there that time.
Yep, that's a big play.
Big thanks.
That was a heck of an effort by Feliciano.
Lorenzo Baker will be back to punt. A big thanks to Ashley and Kuzma for bringing us instant replay this year, giving you a second look at all the action there, making sure athletes and you at home are at the top of your game. Baker gets the snap. We'll see if he can get it off. A good end-over-end spinner there. As that one will go down, they'll let it bounce, will the Trojans.
Good kick coverage.
So not as fruitful on the second possession for Mercyhurst Prep.
25-yard line is where they're going to say that was down, as Veneri continues to try to stretch out. He has played a whale of a football game. He is an old. I love a linebacker with a neck roll, I'm not going to lie.
Jacob Rodriguez out of Texas Tech, I think was one of those guys now in the NFL. I believe he made his way to Miami.
Yep, like a.
Dolphins had a pretty good draft. Maybe not as good as your Eagles.
We'll see. They still have to play.
So we start things off here. It'll be at the 25-yard line with 5:04 left in the fourth quarter. As we'll get the run to the right there. That's McGurr, I believe, with the handoff. Tries to spin his way forward for a couple.
That's a hard run for not many yards. I think they wanted a face mask on the back end of that, and they're not going to get it. Thurber was pleading his case to the white hat. In my experience, very rarely does that ever draw a flag, but hard to tell from our angle if they had a good perspective or not. Take a look. Did they get to the cage? Maybe. Yeah, all right.
Look at that.
Thurber, you got better eyes. That's a good call, or a good call on your end. That's a big miss by the linesman.
As we bring it back, they throw there, and boy, that was dangerous.
Yep.
Almost intercepted there that time. As for Mercyhurst Prep, right in the territory was Jadis Dukes coming across.
Now we're all of a sudden we got a slugfest here, chasing the sticks. 3rd down and 8, and this is a huge play in terms of field position.
Start playing.
Sometimes those 3-and-out punts aren't the worst thing in the world, and maybe Mercyhurst through this exchange, if they get off the field here, can gain field position.
Saw Jeff Root decide to punt it away and try to play the old art of the field position. So we'll see here. Out of the shotgun is Thurber, who's just 3 for 8 tonight passing the football. He is pressured. Tries to heave it downfield as he has his receiver there. That time it's Justin Shell. Who else? They combined to lead the way last year, and a big pickup from the 27 out near midfield.
There's just nothing a Darius Bridget can do. I mean, Shell at 5'11" plays a lot longer than that, was able to climb the ladder to go get the football, and that's the second time in a scramble drill we've seen Thorber been able to put it on the money.
Yeah, there that time as that drive got underway out from the 27. So we'll do what? 23 and 4 is 27 yards on the passing play.
28. They moved it to the 45-yard line now.
They wanted me to be wrong. Thurber going to go out of the shotgun. The quick passing play there that time going for Keith Covert.
Low snap. That play was doomed from the jump. If you're going to run those quick tunnels, that ball's got to be back on the quarterback's hand. It's all about timing.
4 for 10, Thurber through this one, but
how about 4 for 10? You'd think of that stat line's terrible. Those 4 have been monster completions. Monster completions.
97 yards passing, yeah.
And it's crazy because the shots downfield have been caught. It's been the short ones that have come up empty.
2nd and 10 with 3:42 to go here in the third quarter. As Thurber now out of the shotgun with the sidecar, man in motion. They're going to go with a flip to McGurr. Excuse me, that's Shell. And he is dropped for a loss.
Great pursuit.
That time it was coming up to make it Ryan Gata.
Great pursuit out of the linebacker position. The sophomore just following down the line. And here we go again, 3rd down and 11. All of a sudden, we went from a back and forth, can't stop anybody, to this all of a sudden being an absolute slobber knocker on the defensive side of the football. But this seems to be when, although Greenville likes to make their big play on 4th down. Maybe we'll have to wait another down for them to get a big chunk play. But this is a big 3rd down and 11.
4th and goal from the 15. They have 3rd and 11 here on the Mercyhurst side of the football field. Thurber going to roll to his right, survey the scene, pump fake, throw it downfield. He has a man open but can't make the catch. He was looking for Shell once again inside the 20.
JT Jones in coverage.
Sometimes hard when you're getting that rollout. You have momentum going one way and put a little bit behind it to try, since you're not setting that back foot, try and get things downfield.
I give these Mercyhurst prep defensive backs a lot of credit. They've given up chunk plays, and it's not been for bad coverage. They've been in the right spot. They've just lost 50-50 balls.
And Shell plays bigger.
As I said, yeah,
he's just 5'11", but he plays big. Yeah.
Well, he's able to high point the ball too.
Right.
I mean, he goes and gets it. He doesn't wait for it. He goes and gets it.
Elman Sparks, and then also back there it is JT Jones. So maybe giving Feliciano play off as Shell will send it away. Elman Sparks is near, but they're going to let it bounce and get a favorable roll as it doesn't go too far inside the 10.
Good coverage by Covert. Gets the stop. Keith Covert, the wide receiver, senior.
So 2 possessions for Greenville, a turnover on downs and a punt here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but that drive actually got better.
Yeah, big help on that 28-yard completion to Shell.
Well, they flipped the field too.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it necessarily matters with Feliciano, but, they needed to, it felt like Mercyhurst Prep had taken all the momentum. Then we got into that sort of slog. But how about the effort, though, by Greenville? They're flipping the field. 17-yard line will be the line of scrimmage.
2:38 to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. Coolness sets in. The pumpkin spice lattes brewing around the region.
It's August, Lighted. Come on.
Gosh,
and nobody likes pumpkin anyway.
With the handoff to Feliciano, he tries to go up the middle, and he's met after about a 6 or 7 yard gain. We'll see. He gets out to the 22. Give him a pickup of 5.
Nice job sitting in the hole there as we've got more cramping.
All right. Well, we'll see here. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching the high school football game of the week. We welcome you back here to Saxon Stadium, still tending to an injured Trojan as 22-20. The lone score of this 3rd quarter was that Vinny Feliciano 14-yard touchdown run to make this and a 2-point try on the tip drill, Joe. They made it a 2-point game. That was Cotterill to pass scores for the 2-point conversion as we have the Trojan now making his way to the sideline.
Is that Williams? No, it's not Williams. Who is that?
That is Callan Wieland, the junior tight end, 5'8", 180.
So we've seen some bodies go off. I don't think anybody's hurt. I just think that we're cramping, which is good. Not the cramping part, but that sure beats injuries.
During the film review, there'll be lots of water
yes,
in Gatorade.
I would imagine. And some pickle juice, although I do like pickle juice.
2nd and 5.
Who doesn't like pickle juice?
Well, you're probably talking to somebody. Low snap there. Feliciano tries to cut it back up the middle, but a good job by the Trojans defense of clogging that. Feliciano's best runs have been when he can break it to the outside.
Gets to the outside, 100% right. And you give the defense a lot of credit. That time the pursuit, Godfrey again on the backside. But when you're chasing down Feliciano from the backside, that means people are filling holes.
Yeah, they're doing a good job, and that's been the cat and mouse game we've seen on both sides of the run game. You saw Erie start to clog some things up there early in the second quarter in the Trojans' run game before Greenville made an adjustment.
You know, it's also really good for cramping. Bananas.
Yeah, that's an interesting food that you bring up.
You got to tell them now.
Yeah, for those at home, John Leidick here, your play-by-play broadcaster, has never had a banana. I've had banana bread,
never had a banana.
I've never had a banana. So if I have cramps.
Stop by and bring JD a banana.
Evan Cottrell on 3rd and 2 from his own 25 with Feliciano and Horton there, his sidecars out of the shotgun. Feliciano gets it. He's going to try to get it the right side. We'll see if he can bounce it this time. Slow, but
Porter
a great.
shed the block and jumped outside. Great job. And then it's going to be cleaned up by Thurber, but it was Landon Porter that absolutely blew that play up. A phenomenal play. I don't know what it saved. It will be a new set of downs, but a head of steam for Feliciano. Porter with a big-time play.
They've done a good job, these defensive backs for Greenville and Mercyhurst Prep, coming up to make plays to allow for that second defender to come in and wrap up.
Not going to get credit for anything, but without his effort, without him getting in there, getting the initial contact, it's not going to be cleaned up by Thurber.
So we'll go Horton and Feliciano again, the sidecars to either side of Cottrell. Two receivers to the left as the handoff goes to Horton. He tries to dance his way around and then fall forward, as he'll get out to about the 33-yard line. Pick up about 3 or 4. Give him the 34 for a pickup of 4.
They are doing a nice job of keeping that contained and forcing everything back on the inside and allowing the pursuit to get there. And that'll be the final play of the quarter. Going to be honest with you, Leidick, did you think in a million years we'd be at 22-20 right now with the way this thing was trending? This thing has really slowed down. Both defenses have answered the bell.
A defensive battle. We'll have the fourth quarter coming up in just a moment. You're watching the high school football game of the week. We welcome you back to Saxon Stadium as we get set for the fourth quarter. It's brought to you by Ross Notary, keeping you rolling since 1970 in a 2-point ball game. Mercyhurst Prep with the ball, facing 2nd and 6.
Feels like a turnover is going to determine the outcome of this one. Really, all of a sudden, just a slogfest defensive. If you like defensive football, the tail end of that third quarter, last half of that third quarter, really, really good stuff.
Yeah, it was. Just one touchdown in the third quarter after plenty as the handoff there. Feliciano, I believe, the man that got the football there and just falls forward. He gets out to about the 39. That's going to be pickup of, he gets back to the 34, I should say, for a no gain.
McGurr, again, it's been the secondary of both of these defenses. Obviously, the linebacking play on both sides of the ball has gotten significantly better, the discipline and gap responsibility, but the backside contained, setting an edge, not losing your leverage. Both these defenses have really stepped up.
So 3rd and 6. Mercyhurst Prep, for as well as they've played here in the second half, is going to need to matriculate the ball downfield. have a shot to take its first lead of the game. As Cottrell going to roll out, and he's going to try and run for the throw the pass there. We're trying to spin around here between our monitor, and that's going to be an incomplete, so that'll bring up 4th and 6.
Yeah, the ball was intended for J.T. Jones, the senior wide receiver, and a punt forthcoming.
And Lorenzo Baker will come on. Baker used to booting it away as the keeper for the Lakers soccer team. Back to receive will be Covert and Shell, standing right around their own 30. As Baker gets it.
Blocked.
That one was blocked. And it's going to be where it lands. It bounces inside the 30, so you talked about a turnover. That could probably classify as one of them.
Well, we sort of come full circle because the storyline for the first half was special teams play or lack thereof for both teams. And now all of a sudden the special teams sort of rear their ugly head again, and Greenville blocks a punt. And now they are not only in business with the football, but maybe more importantly, Leidig, an opportunity to put this thing on ice. Even though they're only at the 29-yard line, as methodical as they can be, they can really eat some clock here. A touchdown makes this a 2-possession game. So if there's a turnover that Mercyhurst Prep has up their sleeve, now's the time.
So we'll see if they go back. Yeah, they're going to go back to the wing T after going out of the shotgun on the last drive, and it's going to be Porter. Great job there, a push early on, but Porter's going to fall his way from the 30 down inside the 25. They started that drive at the 29.
So give them 5. Tick, tick, tick. No rush here for the Trojans.
19 carries for 88 unofficially for Porter.
Whomever comes out on top tonight, this is going to be a great win and an absolutely great start to the season. As for the loser, as we alluded to, no harm, no foul. But when you have expectations, Mercyhurst Prep coming down to single A, this may be their toughest test until the Farrell Steelers. I'm sorry, the Farrell Steelers are 2A. But you understand, this may be their toughest test all year, and the biggest improvement comes from week 1 to week 2. So for Jeff Root's bunch, this might not be the worst case scenario either.
Jeff Root has not been afraid to challenge his crew out of the gates. There's some movement there.
How was that
Porter,
not offsides?
As Porter falls down to the 20, it's going to be about a 3rd and 1 upcoming.
Zach Brown was about a step and a half out of the gates before anybody else, the left guard, but we play on.
That'll put Porter over the century mark tonight. Excuse me, never mind. My math is failing me once again. That'll be 20 carries for 92 yards. Approaching the century mark here. As Joe, we're just a yard away from you know where. And the pitch play, oh my.
There was almost a turnover. Thurber very fortunate. That's the only problem when you need one, why toss it?
Yeah.
Why can't you just run the dive? You've had so much success getting in the hip pocket of your center, Ryan Holloway. Why out trick yourself? And now instead of 4th and 1 or 4th and inches or first down, now it's 4th and 6.
Yeah. Now it's in that question territory. Do you go to the pass or do you go to the run? Although I guess with the benefit of the punt, you still got to make Mercyhurst, even if you don't get the first down here, they've got to go quite a length to get in scoring position.
2 timeouts for both teams. Clock continues to roll, 8:23.
The pass and wide open for the catch.
That's Shell again.
Shell again.
Yeah. Doesn't catch many, but he only catches the big ones. Thurber doesn't throw many, and he only completes the 4th down. What a conversion. Goal to go now from the 9. No, 14-yard line.
We're entering the New Motors Subaru Red Zone. New Motors Subaru. Stop in, new or used today, as make a trip and make it a touchdown each and every day.
In our defense, that was the scoreboard that had it marked at the 9. That wasn't our fault. I think that the scoreboard operator got ahead of himself, put it at the 9 instead of the 14.
As a run here, McGurr getting loose, spinning, diving, and in for the score. 14-yard touchdown. The Trojans extend the lead.
McGurr, what an effort. Would not be denied the goal line. Was that Covert out in front? I believe it was the wide receiver, as we're going to get another look at this. But the blocking downfield.
That was close.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Mercyhurst has a challenge.
Yeah, no challenges in high school.
Oh, boy, that's awful close. I don't know if they could change that. We don't have a pylon cam. But McGurr, with the effort, finds the end zone. And now this is the biggest extra point of the ball game. Whether it be 1 or 2, they need it. And they're going to go for 2.
Keeps it a one-possession game if they fail to get there. The toss to Porter, and he drives his way in. It's now a 2-possession game.
I see why they tried to run that toss on 4th and 1, but they've been getting whatever they wanted in short yardage. The lead back to 10. So after Mercyhurst scoring 10 unanswered, now all of a sudden Greenville back out in front by 10.
So 7:39 to go, and Jeff Root and company have some territory to cover here. Just when you thought the momentum had shifted to the Lakers, they get the block on the punt.
Yeah.
And then drive it in. Want to remind you, pull out the phones, tablets, however you're watching. Scan the QR code on your screen and enter for a chance to win a $25 gift card from Sports Obsession. We'll contact you and let you know if you won via email or text. Sports Obsession, where all the fans go to gear up for game day.
So the special team snafus, and again, if Greenville missed the extra point. Then there was the 2 the offside penalties by Mercyhurst Prep on defense, on special teams, that allowed Greenville to go for 2 instead of 1. The what-ifs. And now a 10-point deficit. Mercyhurst will get the football back, but I don't anticipate them kicking this one to Mr. Feliciano, who sets up shop on the far hash.
Do want to remind you, don't go anywhere. Post-game show sponsored by the Plastic Group, as we'll take you back through this one, give you the play of the game and the player of the game, as this one taken by Elman Sparks as he tries to cut it upfield. And he is dropped shortly after getting across the 25 right around the 27.
I don't know if this was by accident by Thurber or not, or if it was by design or a heads-up play. I give him credit. Elman Sparks, JD, I don't know if you saw this, and Feliciano at the last second switched on the run-up, and Thurber still hit it to where Elman Sparks was and not where Feliciano was. So, again, I don't know if he didn't see that, but they switched, and he still kicked it away from Feliciano. Big-time stuff by Thurber, good coverage by the Trojans, and it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 27-yard line now. For the Lakers, 7:33 to go in this one. They trail 30-20.
So we'll see. We haven't seen much from Cottrell in terms of the passing game. Just 2 completions for 26 yards, but he may have to go back to the air and limit what Feliciano can do as we have whistles blow. And that is going to be legal motion.
Yeah.
That'll set him back 5 yards. So 1st and 10 goes to 1st and 15 and makes the challenge even longer.
Does feel like a fall night, though, for August 28th. But this also kind of feels like a playoff game as well. So I guess the weather is kind of fitting as well. And we got no skin in the game. And, this is a great matchup to start the year. And it tells Mercyhurst Prep where they got to get better, and it might tell Greenville that this is just the first step. But there's still been enough sloppiness from Greenville that there's going to be enough to fix.
Feliciano is met quickly there that time, as a host of tacklers, including Braden Straw, coming up to make the stop.
Yeah, Straw.
Excuse me, that was Horton.
McGurr, Thurber. I mean, they're just bodies everywhere. They're really starting to play downhill. And this is where, we talked about it. you just have to let Cotterill fling it. You got to let them throw. They're coming downhill. They're coming to get you. And, you got to make them pay out there on the perimeter. And, this is where if you're going to take that step, this is kind of the scenario where you just got to trust your guy that he's either going to find his man or throw it away.
So,
look how many guys are in the box. I mean, It's one-on-one everywhere. Walking a safety down.
They gave him just force. I think they waved the flag off here as Feliciano finds a crease and he's going. But can you hold on if you're Keith Covert? As that one gets up across the 50 and into Greenville territory.
Covert's going to owe Feliciano some cab fare there.
And Feliciano's still down. As he's taking a minute there. So they got to the 40 of Greenville, so down to the 38, I beg your pardon.
Covert
31 yards on the run.
Covert saves the touchdown, but 6:34 now. Certainly the clock not on the side of the Lakers.
Yeah, and just 2 timeouts left. Remember, They had that timeout when coming out of the punt return.
Yep. Nice. That clunky exchange when it felt just like they had the momentum, but it was not smooth, and they're going to have to cost a timeout here. And I said when it happened, it's probably going to be something that rears its ugly head later on.
Yeah. For Feliciano, unofficially, that was his 19th run, 182 yards tonight, and he has the trio of touchdowns for the Lakers.
And that is not going to hurt his career average for sure.
Touchdown runs of 5, 44, and 14 in this one. For the senior tailback headed to Western Michigan as of now.
First down and 10, though. 6:30, clock rolling.
Out of the injury timeout, Elman Sparks and Horton, the 2 backs. Opposite sides of Cottrell. Man in motion is Jones. Elman Sparks will take it. He'll work his way down to around the 35. Be about a pickup of 3.
Sparks is a tough customer there. And this is where, if you're Greenville, this is where you're really frustrated with the cramping. These are free timeouts now for Mercyhurst Prep. The clock will stop at 6:04.
Do maybe have one final here to pass along for you. How about this one? Through 3 quarters, it is Cathedral Prep with a safety in the 3rd quarter, but they lead 15-13.
Wow. I believe it was 15-0.
Yeah.
So General McLean just scored with 14 seconds left. They were down 15-7. Going for 2 to tie the football game. Good one in Clarion County.
Good out-of-town scores. As we want to remind you, as we have throughout this broadcast, thanks to Sports Obsession, you can have some gift card opportunity to add to your memorabilia, your swag at home for your favorite sports team. Scan the QR code. You tell us where you're watching, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card. If you do win and are selected, we will contact you to let you know so you can continue along, whether it's getting ready for your favorite football team, college team, getting ready for the NBA and NHL's return to preseason action here in a short while. Joe Lednusky excited for the NBA season.
Let's go Sixers.
Philadelphia Phillies have looked pretty good.
Yeah.
What was it, 9 straight before they lost?
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber making his case had for an MVP.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
Pete Crow.
I mean, or Shohei. I mean, he should be. I think just that as a gentleman's courtesy, people should say. And oh, by the way,
Shohei Ohtani.
Kyle Schwarber is in the conversation. How about Iroquois? 35-20 winners over Eisenhower.
Manny Johnson's company getting it done here is the run here by Elman Sparks. He picks up and lays a little bruising hit there, as that was on 2nd and 8.
Gets out of bounds. Clock will stop. 5:50. Lakeview 36, Union City 14.
Big win for Blake Reddick.
Yeah, former Fighting Scott.
5 down to the 27, a pickup of 8.
Blake, one of the first. So the game is tied at Central Clarion. The 2-point conversion for the Lancers was good. So they, with 14 seconds left, 15-15.
Cottrell out of the shotgun, working from the 27. As he fakes it, play action, and starting to run there that time. Before he had the football in his hands was Ty Mims.
I don't know if Mims had eyes upfield or heard footsteps or both, because that was going to be either a touchdown or a gigantic collision. It's incomplete, 2nd down and 10 either way.
So on the positive side, stops the clock. 5:47, 2nd and 10. Cottrell tonight just 2 of 8 passing for 26 yards. Again, all stats unofficial. Plastic Group post-game show coming your way. We'll recap this one and give you some more scores, player of the game and play of the game. It's all coming up once this one goes final here from Saxon Stadium. And in motion there that time. As we hand things off here, it's Feliciano trying to get to the outside. He lowers the shoulder, continues to go, continues to pull people along. And he is going to head inside the New Motors Subaru red zone with a big run there from the 27 all the way down to about 5 or 6. 3.
That's a.
I don't know about that.
Looks like I thought they're spotted at the 5.
Yeah, I think the scoreboard operator getting a bit
I tell you what, say what you want about Vinny Feliciano only being a speedster. We've seen him lower the pads and lower the boom a couple times tonight. Offsides. The finger pointing. Who's going to be the winner here in the finger pointing? It will be Greenville. Oh, nope, yes, there we go. So false start on the right tackle. 5-yard penalty will back it up.
So, go to the Ashley and Kuzma replay. There you go. You saw a little bit of movement there. Yep, head comes up and the lineman comes across. So
he draws him. No, good recognition there by the end on the far side of the formation. That was Callan Weiland.
So, 1st and goal from the 10 now instead of the 5. Cottrell out of the shotgun. Hands it off to Feliciano trying to get the edge. Hops over one player. You can't do that.
Nope. Looks cool, but it's a penalty.
That's going to be another flag on the Lakers. Can't hurdle in high school.
Yeah, fans aren't going to understand it, but that's unfortunately the rule.
Joe, while we have a moment, you hear us and you see us on the broadcast, but there's a lot of great members of our crew that helped set up today, get this broadcast location ready to go, and have made the different parts, from our camera operators to our technical people behind the scenes, getting you the replays and making sure all these great graphics show up, as well as all the different camera angles we have. So do want to take a moment to thank them for all their hard work here today.
Yeah, I mean, we got the easy part.
Yeah.
We got the easy part. Those guys did a great job, and certainly appreciate all the people behind the camera to make it happen, and of course, obviously the management and the sales staff to let us have a little fun on a Friday night.
Yeah, all we do is throw a little gel in our hair and try to make it look good.
Yeah, that's it. And talk about bananas and
pickle juice.
And
out-of-town scores. Don't forget, though, too, once you're done here, once we're done with the post-game show, tune over to Erie News Now coming up tonight on WICU WSE for Football Fridays Week 1 coverage from around the region. Our crews getting you highlights from the other games, including this one. Well, those highlights coming your way around 11:15 tonight on Erie News
What
Now.
should have been 1st and goal from the 5 now becomes 1st and goal from the 26.
And that's going to be a penalty you're going to want to have back as Feliciano passed one. Another hurdle there. But I guess not too far off the ground.
Why is that not a penalty?
He works his way back.
Why is that not a penalty?
I don't know. Oh.
I mean, I thought you couldn't hurdle at all in high school. I'm really confused now because he hurdled cleanly on the prior play. What?
I guess it's.
We'll need some clarification for that. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go back to the
listen,
replay.
I mean, he's as impressive as all get out. I mean, he's as good as any back as we've seen here in quite some time. But, I mean, he is so quick and just –
Yep,
yeah,
there's a hop.
Yeah, I don't
Here
understand.
we go.
I'm confused.
As they're going to hand it off here. Met in the backfield as Horton tries to cut it back across the field. We'll see how the block's set up as Horton's still trying to go to the goal line, but the Trojans do a good job recovering.
And Feliciano out there again leading the way on the reverse of the field, but that's a great run, but they're still going to need what? 8? No, more than that. They said he went out of bounds at the 12. Wow. 4:19.
So pickup of 6 there that time for Horton. He has 44 yards unofficially on 6 carries. Well, it's certainly 4-down territory no matter how you draw it up. Cottrell will work out of the shotgun.
Is it? Can you get – I mean, you're going to need 3 at some point, or could need 3.
As Cottrell looks for the pass. Feliciano,
great catch.
One-handed.
Great catch.
So he gets down to about the 8. So pickup of just 4 despite the highlight reel catch.
He's had a couple of highlights on this drive alone.
Guess, how do you feel about your kicker? It's going to be the question here.
Yeah, I mean, you need a touchdown and you need a field goal, theoretically. The order doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that's a conversation on the far sideline.
Now Cottrell's taking his time over there with play caller Coach Crafty.
Well, the play clock is not rolling, nor the game clock.
Well, they don't use these college ones here, I believe. And we're going to have a timeout as the Lakers are going to discuss this one on what they want to do. How do they feel about Lorenzo Baker? Can he get the right now? If it's down at the 8, that'd be about a 25-yarder.
I mean, if you trust him even a little bit, I think you got to kick.
Although, one of our crucial points tonight, Joe, have been the operations
I
of
know,
the special teams unit.
But you're down to 1 timeout.
Yeah.
You've not gotten a stop from Greenville but once. So boy, oh boy, that's why I'm here and not there. But I would, if I trusted him even a little bit, I kick it. And I just wonder if you have the soccer player out there to kick, but we'll see. But he doesn't appear to be in the huddle.
No.
So it looks like they're going to go for the.
Boy, talk about yet 1st and 5 here.
Yep. And then the worst part is you've taken like almost 2.5 minutes off the clock, and you're still not back where you would have been prior to the penalties.
Yeah. A false start and then a hurling penalty that really set this
But
drive
why
back.
wasn't the next play that he also hurdled? I'm going to need some.
Confounded. We'll have to talk to the officials after the Plastic Group post-game show.
Try to explain that, why it is sometimes and not what, or what made that a penalty and the other one didn't. But here we go. This is pretty much the ball game.
4th and goal from the 8. Cottrell. As he has 4 receivers split out. He has Feliciano in the backfield. He's going to go back to pass. He throws to the back corner of the end zone, and that is going to sail past the end line for a turnover on downs.
And what an effort defensively by Greenville here. A gutty performance by both these teams, but this Greenville defense has answered the bell. And I know the stats aren't gonna really show it, but by Vinny Feliciano's standards, he's been held in check, JD.
Yes, last check, he has 21 carries for 210, but the big playability that he's had, I've seen him a number of times on this field, 30-yard runs, 40-yard runs, and he has just the one big one, that touchdown for the second Mercyhurst prep.
The big one for 44 yards, but for the most part, they've done a pretty good job at keeping one of maybe even the best back in the state of Pennsylvania. I mean, give this Greenville defense credit.
Yeah. They've done a good job here tonight. As Porter, the man in motion, he'll take the pitch, try off the right side, just cut it upfield. At this point, if you're the Trojans, just positive yards forward.
Ball security, ball security, ball security.
Gets that one out as they want that clock to tick away.
Yep.
Pickup of 8.
And this is where I go to the dive. Get me the first down, and with only one timeout and now no timeouts, or to Greenville take a timeout.
That's a pickup of 8 to get Porter unofficially on 21 carries to 100 yards.
Somebody called timeout, but I don't know who it was. They didn't signal.
The Plastic Group post-game show is coming your way here in just a moment. We'll recap this one, give you the out-of-town scores, tally up the statistics as we can, and name our Plastic Group player of the game.
Boy.
A fancy T-shirt to hand out here, and have the play of the game. So, Joe, yeah, we got to have a discussion here. Don't worry, we have a big break before the post-game show gets underway to have our...
I should have paid closer attention. I didn't know there was going to be homework.
Yeah, well,
oh, my goodness. Boy, there's so many candidates.
Homework.
How many T-shirts do we have? Just one?
We have one.
All right.
One player per week.
What size is it?
That is irrelevant. They can hang it in their room. They can hang it in their room if it's one of the big boys up front.
If it's if anything that makes my work easier, I'm all for. That's why I'm asking. So I believe Greenville took their first timeout.
So Cale Thurber on 2nd and 2 here. Lakers needing a stop. They just give it to Porter, and he's just trying to push that pile forward. I think he'll have enough there for the first down. He does as he gets out there from the...
I think that was Emmerich. That was Emmerich on the dive.
Emmerich, excuse me, for pickup of 6.
Yeah. So that's what I said. Just run the dive, and, it's ball game. And, again, boy, this offensive line has played so well.
Well, when you returned 4 of the 5 in the line that took you to the state semifinals a year ago, you're going to have a good group up front. It's just about making the plays.
2:43 now.
It's Emmerich again. He's going to take this one right up the gut and just keep diving away. It's going to get him out to around the 26. Maybe the 27. Yep, pick up a 5.
So this offensive line, again, we talk about how it's a game that is just go back to the drawing board. You get real excited that you won week 1. It's not the end of the world that you lose week 1 in this instance. It's not a region game. It's not even a game in classification. It will have no impact on the District 10 playoff picture, other than a point of reference, maybe if it comes to there's any seeding issues, but I don't envision with these two that there would be, coming out of the North and the South respectfully.
Porter on the latest run there. No, and again, for Mercyhurst Prep, if you're playing up in a classification, you get that point system in terms of the seeding things to figure out as we go down the road there. A pickup of 2 for Porter. Puts him at 22 carries for 102.
And I wish that the eye test mattered. But, this is a great point of reference for both of these teams. But they clearly belong, right? Like
This was a well-played game for the most part by both clubs. And the handoff here is going to go to McGurr. As he gets out, that'll be a first down, and we'll wind away.
And that will officially do it now, mathematically, even with a timeout.
Pickup of 10.
And that'll get us under a minute. And the Trojans, 12 wins a year ago. And they're going to start with a very impressive road win here this evening against a Mercyhurst Prep team that will 100% be at the end of the at the end of the single A rainbow when it comes to this District 10 tournament. There is no doubt in my mind. I talked to a couple people, and I said, you just don't know. These are high school kids. You just don't know. Well, case in point, they both belong.
Yeah. We're going to have one final
Jenna McLean
timeout.
in overtime. 21-15 comes back and win on the road.
Wow, it's Central Clarion. Mike Menold wants to call one more timeout, get his group there. Again, one of these, a hard-fought contest. Maybe remind the guys, hey, no funny business. We don't need to lose anybody headed into next week. And maybe just reassure his guys and congratulate them on a well-earned victory here tonight on the road at Mercyhurst University, the home of the Lakers here at Mercyhurst. Prep post-game shows coming your way, and that's all going to be brought to you by the Plastic Group. Again, we'll name the player of the game, the play of the game, and talk about out-of-town scores and some statistics as well, Joe.
We might be the last. There's a game that went overtime that's already over. I still don't understand how high school football works sometimes. There's been virtually no passing in this game. And we are still going to be probably the last game of the night that's done.
Let's see, 22 passing attempts tonight by my account.
Almost 10 o'clock. That's insane.
By the time we wrap this one up, it will be.
Good win.
Victory formation as Thurber will drop to the knee, and that will finalize this one in week one. And a great contest between two teams with title aspirations. It is the Greenville Trojans 30 and the Mercyhurst Prep Lakers 20. Joe, what a game to be a part of.
Yeah, it was awesome. Again, thanks for the opportunity. And if the next 9 weeks are as good as this one, JD, we're going to have a lot of fun.
We are going to have a lot of fun. We'll tell you about what next week has in store, all a part of the Plastic Group post-game show. It's coming your way after a short break.
The postgame show is presented by Plastic.
welcome you into the Plastic Group post-game show as we get set tonight. The Plastic Group, world-class suppliers of your tooling and plastic needs since 1956. John Leidick alongside Joe Lidnuski. The final score here tonight, 30-20. Greenville victorious here over the Mercyhurst Prep Lakers. Joe, your initial thoughts as this one wraps up?
I think both teams are pretty good. What pretty good ends up looking like, we'll see. But obviously, Greenville last year, they go 12-2. They make it to the Western semis. So, their bar's a little bit higher. I'll be honest with you, I'm more curious about Mercyhurst Prep. Right? They were 6-6 last year, 6-0 in region play. Obviously on the wrong end of it in the postseason. But they played Sharon, they played Oil City. So this looks to me like a team that can win at least a game in the state tournament. Right. Yeah. And I think, expectation is the key word here in week one. And I would say mission accomplished. Right. I don't think either team can leave here down in the dumps, knowing the other team is very, very good. I don't think either coaching staff can leave here thinking, oh, we got to worry about our morale because we had a lot of good things, and then we get to look at the other side. We got a lot of things to fix.
Right.
So it's really a perfect storm. I think Jeff Root and company know their team is pretty good. They lost to a very, very good team tonight. We knew there was going to be some sloppiness. There was. We knew who the stars were going to be. They were, right? Vinny Feliciano, stud. Greenville offensive line, probably better than advertised.
Yeah.
They got 3 dudes up there that look like college football players. And then they've got the little guards that pull. So, yeah, there's a lot to be excited about. And by the way, when I say little, they're both like 210 pounds. They're not as big as the 280-pounders on either side of them. But they are very, very good. It was a fun game.
It was a fun game to be a part of. Some of the stats individually here tonight, 22 rushes for 102 yards for Landon Porter, who had the opening touchdown of this contest. You also had Kyle McGurr that ran 8 times for 34 yards, the 2 scores. And then you also had here tonight, I want to make sure I have his first name correctly, Hunter Emmerich, unofficially 11 carries for 53 yards. For Cale Thurber here tonight, he had 5 completions for 12 yards, but again, we talked all night about
4 of the 5 were on fourth down, too.
There wasn't a completion shorter than 12 yards here tonight.
I mean, his incompletions when he was trying to dink and dunk, they let him throw it downfield. He made 2 great throws on the run, big-time conversions. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot to like. This is one of those games, I hate to be cliche, but, it stinks that somebody had to lose, but these are 2 teams that are going to win a lot of football games this year. Unfortunately, tonight, somebody had to be on the wrong side of it.
Meanwhile, on the Mercyhurst Prep side, Vinny Feliciano unofficially ends with 21 carries for 210 yards. You had 3 completions for Evan Cottrell tonight that add up to 30 yards. He finished 3 for 10. So to recap some of the scoring, if you're just joining us, it was the 2-yard run by Porter that opened things up. 2-point conversion, good. Then Feliciano answered on the opening Mercyhurst Prep possession that made it 8-6 after the special team snafu. And then we had the long 4th and goal from the 15. It was Thurber to Williams that made it 16-6 score after the 2-point try. Feliciano would get his 2nd rushing touchdown from 44 yards this time. No good on the 2-point try, so that made it 16-12. And then before the first half was over, the 5-yard run from Kyle McGurr, his first of 2 touchdowns, 22-12. Mercyhurst Prep made it a close game with Feliciano's 3rd touchdown of the night there in the 3rd quarter, but it was the McGurr touchdown of the 4th that sealed this one for the Greenville Trojans. We will name the player of the game and have your play of the game. We'll take a look at some of the out-of-town scores as well. That's all coming your way here on the Plastic Group postgame show. Back in just a moment. All right, we'll welcome you back to the Plastic Group postgame show, and we are pleased to be joined by tonight's Plastic Group player of the game. That's Kyle McGurr of Greenville, running back here tonight that had 2 touchdowns, including the one that clinched this one. Kyle, we'll start first of all. Opening night of the high school football season, you guys coming off a spectacular run a year ago. What does it mean to get the opening victory?
It feels great. Says a lot about us. Everybody's been doubting us. They didn't choose us this game, which it kind of made us feel a certain way with the run we had last year and the year before that. It fired us up a lot, honestly. But it feels great. We haven't won an opening match the past 2 seasons. Feels great to start one off with a victory.
So we talked in the pregame show, obviously expectations. You had the year that you had. You're a senior. Obviously, this is a pretty tough operation you guys got going on. What was the offseason like to make sure that last year wasn't the pinnacle? Last year was just a step into what this year holds.
Yeah, so a lot of it's shown up at practice. We grind really hard. Everybody, we condition a lot, and that's what makes us better because all of our 4th down stops that we have on at the end of the games, those are huge for us, and we want more of those, and we know we can do those.
I wanted to ask about, the big fellas in front of you, not only blocking for you, but, you're here just as much for your defensive effort this evening than the offense. But there was a lot of free runs, and I don't know if how close you pay attention, but to hold Vinny Feliciano to only one big one, you guys did a whale of a job.
Yes. I think we can handle any running back. People said we couldn't handle Aiden Bliss, and we held him down pretty good. I don't think there's really much else to it.
Well, you guys played a heck of a ball game, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Finally, for me, what does it mean to get a victory like this against a quality opponent, and how can that springboard you guys as you continue along in your season here after the opening week?
It means that we're doing everything right. Obviously, there's some things we need to work on, but it's a huge stepstone for us just because we haven't won an opening game in so long.
Well, you got that monkey off your back, and you got yourself a player of the game T-shirt. We'll have you hold that up from Plastic. Great supporter of the high school football. Kyle, congratulations on the victory. We'll have you step off to the side. We'll take the headset from you. We'll grab a picture for our post-game show. Thanks so much for joining us
Good
here.
Job,
congratulations.
Good game, buddy.
All right, Joe, we also got to name our play of the game, and we're going to stick with the guy that we just had on our airwaves.
Yeah, there was a lot of good plays, but it wasn't the touchdown. It was the fashion in which he scored the touchdown, and I thought it was sort of a microcosm of the way this game played out. Mercyhurst Prep wouldn't go away. McGurr, the Trojans, wouldn't quit, fighting to the death into the end zone, and I really thought that run that secured the victory was pretty much the way they played tonight. They made the play when they needed to make them, and they fought their tails off in the trenches, and it was a big effort win.
As we wrap this one up, our game next week, Fort LaBeouf, General McLean, talk about a rivalry matchup between those two, not in the same classification.
But LaBeouf coming off a huge win, 49-14 over Fairview, and GM coming back on the road to win 21-15 at Central Clarion. They played down, but Central Clarion's a pretty good program. Can't wait for that one.
Should be a good one. We were glad to be a part of this one tonight. We thank you for watching or listening on Happy 927. This is just one of what we hope are many broadcasts, and we appreciate you for being along for the ride. For all of our crew here, for Joe Lidnuski, I'm John Leidick signing off. The final score tonight, Greenville 30, Mercyhurst Prep in our opening act of the high school game of the week here on Erie News Now.